PX, you know, game knows game. So if this is what he needs to build, if this is how he needs to play, so be it. Also rocking that vengeance. Again, we really haven't seen him last that much longer in fights. This hero is just not built for this level of play. So they're working with much less than they could. Now, the Lord just demolished here by Liquid Echo. As Benny Cutie works the opposite side of the map, Falcon Esports knows that this is the defense of a lifetime. Like, they just have to clear this Lord, and they have to save their base at least. Like, that's bare minimum.
It's bare minimum for sure, but I definitely think that they haven't exactly set up checkmate angle in the most efficient way possible. However, even though they don't have checkmate angle, look at that EXP difference. Sanford just bought the Winter Crown, and I'm guessing that Liquid Echo, they're going to dive for an inhibitor.
Yep, again, you're allowed to greed out in these kinds of situations. So he built the Hunter Strike first, went for a Winter Crown, and can now force a fight. Vengeance by Royal Mick already after the enhanced chains. Top lane inhibitor taken out. The base has been penetrated. Mid and bottom gonna be up next. Lord still standing, taken care of by Falcon Esports.
Good defense coming in from Falcon Esports. You sacrifice one inhib, don't worry. But now the second wave start to come through, and it's now desynced.
Step by step, Falcon Esports knows what they have to protect. They know how they can keep this fight going. Now there's an enhanced wave down bottom. Sanford looking to make it stay. Goes down now, the jump in, the response from PX7. Down goes JP, but where's the clapback? Dax jumping through, saves himself. Sanji with a stolen ult as well, reset. And Kaldizi looking for one more. Pops the passive on the PX7. In comes Kid X after the conceal, sends Liquid Echo packing.
Oh man, as much as I would like to say that this is an incredible defense from Falcons, they're missing 2 inhibitors, which is going to affect them in the next 85 seconds when the next Lord spawns. It's going to be difficult to walk out, right? Because now Liquid Echo have so much tempo and they can keep on holding it against Falcon. Oh, you want to walk up to the Lord? We'll just wait for the waves to push into your base. It's your choice.
Yep, I'll have to amend my statements about Sanford greeting out. It's actually him just bum rushing builds. Like, he's just having such a good time, an easy time on the map. 3-0-4 on this Lapu Lapu that he was able to build not just a full Hunter Strike, not just a couple of good defensive items, but also the Winter Crown.
I think there is a certain level of foresight here, right? Because again, he's already got the Athena shield. He knows that Benny's going to be the big guy who chunks him out. And Dax, yes, he's already level 15, accelerated super fast into the game, but if he stops the Lycan Pounce reset, that's already a very big win for Liquid Echo. It forces Dax to actually take a step back and reconsider the options, even if he trades 1-for-1.
And that's just Sanford we're talking about. What else the rest of Liquid Echo? Again, JP, a one-man initiation machine. Sanji, just ever the versatile Swiss Army knife of both engage, crowd control, damage, and then you have Benny Cutie, who we really haven't seen much doing, right? So that means he's just a soon-built artillery machine. Like, he's only really been working on turrets.
I mean, he has only been working on turrets, but let's not forget, the last time we were casting Liquid Echo, I mentioned it before, it's about the insurance policies. And Benny, he's up there, he's just like, we got the premium on this one. He's got full build. He also made sure that he has the Winds of Nature, but at the same time, his counterpart, Benny from Falcon Esports, he's full build.
That's right, yeah, so Benny is also a force to be reckoned with, has to be respected. Because again, yeah, Sanford does have the Athena shield, but that can only last so long. He has to pick a target. It has to be PX7, it has to be Dax, or maybe even Benny, but it's just one of those at a time.
I think the hardest part is that even if they want to get multiple people, if you commit too hard on PX7, right now he doesn't have his passive, but when it comes back up, that's when Liquid Echo really have to kind of shift their objectives. But at the same time, right, when we're talking about the Frigid Glacier, it is a large area that it covers. It's a huge AoE, especially once you're kind of funneled in towards the crystal.
Which makes Liquid Echo's job not impossible, but relatively difficult despite the draft having been compromised for Falcon Esports. Like, they are making the most of a bad situation. Now they're looking for the GG push. Mid lane up next on the docket. Massive Lord up top. Dax, but down to half health after 3 spears from Benny Cutie. A force of nature. Royal Milk is still holding on to his ult, holding on to his battle spell. Already a little bit of a pull from Sanji. The stolen ult from Kid X, and that's all very low members. Royal Milk falls. Lord has fallen as well. Sanford coming into the back line. Bravest fighter into 3. Gets his immortality pop. The base is still standing, but taken down just as quickly. Liquid Echo scores 1.
Wow, what a fight. What a base defense right at the very edge. It was really difficult to tell who technically was winning, but it looks like, as I mentioned before, very together TLPH cracked down on the Crystal. A split-second decision when they recognized, hey, this fight, it might not go our way.
Being very together could not have been all the more well-timed. They needed to clump up, juggle the base aggro, because again, if that lasted 2 or 3 seconds longer, wherein Falcon Esports had their core members standing, that would have looked very different.
Yeah, it was a dangerous situation to be in. But I think at the very least, when it comes down to a mechanical level, Falcon Esports are actually putting a really good fight. I don't know, but I think we need to be going into a deeper dive with our analysts, Lafell, Naisu, and Wolf. Take it away.
Thank you very much. And we got a lot to talk about, but we first got to talk about the highlights of this game. And again, Team Liquid Echo looks like they are on point, but props to Falcon as well. A lot of good base defense.
You know, I loved the way that just the whole lineup here was obviously utilized. We already talked about the chip coming into play. I'm surprised still that JP got his hands on it. But even there at the end, Sanji getting that pull with taking the I'm offended from Kid X to force them to fight was just great.
I'm loving this Lapu-Lapu plus the chip combo. By the way, Carl TZ reserving the right skill enhanced spells to utilize in specific situations. And you're going to see Benny Kitty going for the fadeaway here because he knows that the Aurora is a threat no matter what, so he has to back down for a little bit. Then finds the big SOD on to Dax. And like I said, he doesn't have to prove anything. Goes to the back lines and just pushes the turret.
I got to say, man, like, looking at how they play, using the enhanced chain to knock up 3, that was a big game changer because that was one of the fights that actually Falcon Esports could win. The fact that they funnel it into a very tight corner, allowing Carl TZ to just come in with the enhanced chain, knocking 3 people up, changed things around. If Carl was not there, Falcon could have done better.
Yeah, I definitely think if he wasn't there, they would have ran him down. But again, that's why so many, you know, their communication for Liquid Echo, they've had so long to work on that. And you just, when you're watching their game, you see how on point they are, how they're always there for each other. And, you know, that's really hard to play against when you're the opposing team.
Yeah. You see when the Lord Dance happened, so many good things happened as well. But it's not technically a dance anymore. But JP was there up top near his shortcut so that he can get to the fights if ever he's needed. And he's out of the zone where you can utilize the sentry so that you'll be spotted out. So that's that meant that when he was there during the last Lord, it was in a Karmer's bush. He actually gave so much information to his teammates that Team Liquid Echo just decided to burst down the Lord because they know that nobody's coming for them anyways, and it played out perfectly well. And then you look at Sanji, for example. Copying the right ultimates in the right situations, right? Going for the Ruby ultimate when it's needed, going in for the Roger ultimate when it's also needed. So, yeah, they played it to the T. I think there's a lot of comfort with the heroes that TLPH was able to get in this game.
I'm going to use this time as well to let everyone know, even though the casters have said it, but after investigation, it has confirmed that Falcon Esports had a human error and picked up Alucard during the drafting phase.
Okay.
So they concluded their first game with the Alucard. So, you know, discussions could happen and you could have misclicked. So whatever happened, it was human error. With that being said, we got to continue with the game here. And again, letting go the chip, I feel like, is a very big risk. Looks like what they were planning to do was pick up the Harif as well as the Roger.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe with different EXP, maybe it could work out.
I think, yeah, you don't let them. Just both teams really take care of the Lui and the chip.
Yeah.
I know Lui was banned, you know, in the last match, but yeah, giving chip over to JP is just not a good start, I think.
Yeah. I believe they were planning to definitely do a different thing. Like you have counter engagements. Like they already started with the Ruby, which was great in the 4th slot actually. So if you don't know, guys, the Ruby was taking the 4th slot, which meant that it can be flexed in the EXP lane as well as the roam role. Unfortunately, they last picked the Alucard. Whatever happened in there kind of destroyed their composition.
Yeah.
My guess is that they will put that Ruby in the EXP so that it will have a faster time farming and getting levels, then get a Tiger or a Minotaur so that they can team fight. Imagine if that was the case. They will have time to block off Julian, for example. Maybe they can counter-initiate with their ultimates when the shortcut is indeed going to be used. So I'm very unfortunate for Falcon, but that is something that they also need to work on come the next game.
Something that I have to say, which is a little bit weird for me, because I've been watching Falcon Esports for a while, where they have this style that they just outlast their opponents. However, I believe after they secured their knockout seeding, they don't play that way anymore. We usually see Kid X on this Florins, the Angelas, and then we have PX7 on something that can control the opposing side. Even Aurora can, but usually we see him on the Faramis, and then perhaps seeing a double fighter setup. So what do you guys think about them changing up the winning strategy here?
I think game one, you can now again, given the a la carte, whatever they wanted to go with originally, it looked like they were still trying to play that, right? They were trying to stay in their base. Again, that was the third Lord that was up and punched in, but because of the fact that you have Sanji on the Valentina, taking the I'm offended, that alone basically forces them to not have that opportunity to extend the game any further because they were trying to do it. I mean, they turtled up in their base, and like Wolf said, they have come back in many of their games, and they were on that path. But Sanji, one decision of taking the I'm offended, pulling them through, is enough to go ahead and stop that from happening.
We're going to continue our conversation, but we got to look at our Sony MVP, and it's going to be Carl Teasy on that Julian, having the highest gold as well as the highest damage dealt. He definitely deserves it. Again, that one chain really saved his team.
Great drafting as well coming out from TLPH. Identified the best hero for this situation. You deal the damage, but you also farm. You can contest the farm. As you can see that whenever he is being transferred to the fight, he can immediately blow up someone with one combo. And then we're gonna see him utilize the lance, the sword, and
right here.
In this case, that is gonna be the chains. Catching 3 members, eventually just stopping the potential of Falco to turn this game around.
How fitting, guys. Julian popping up here, MVP performance, and so far we've seen him a couple times. Remember when MSC 2022, when he just came out, and how much Julian was picked up or banned out, and now here we are in 2024, and he's doing this.
And what he's doing is amazing. We got to talk about how first item, Holy Crystal, kind of just unlocks this hero, which is crazy to think because we rarely see being picked up heroes like the Beatrix, the one that has 3,000 first core item being picked up, but Julian does it well. 9 KDA, 797 gold per minute, and 82% kill participation.
Or farming from the jungle where you're essentially uncontested. Ruby plus Aurora is a strong mid duo, but it wasn't enough because they don't have the best silence to go with it. Both Roger as well as Harith depends on a lot of farm, and then you add in the Alucard, which technically loses against the Lapu-Lapu and also needs the farm. Although he was able to destroy a turret up top. Yeah. That was only because the defender was actually teleported to the bottom. Technically speaking, it's not actually a free turret. With this Julian being active, there's no way to stop him farming. And Carl Teasy just had a lot of farm in this particular game.
Sounds great, but I would rather the Alucard just go for a basic attack build, you know? Berserker Fury, Endless Battle. I mean, it's greedy, sure, you don't have a frontline for your team, but, you know, with what you have, might as well, right? The high risk, high reward?
Yeah, about all he had was vengeance, you know, at that point. Pop the vengeance, you know, go in swinging. And it makes me wonder, too, like, what would have been the game plan for Falcon Esports, aside from the Alucard there? Because I think you're right, Lafel. I think if they go for those more sustainability heroes in the roam, the Angelas, the Florins, that might serve them better against a team like Liquid Echo.
I like the idea of the Florin. It's great versus Assassins in general. Well, the Florin alone will struggle from Assassins, but his teammates won't because of the global presence of the ultimate, right? You pop the ultimate, you don't have the anti-heal anymore for 5 seconds, which means that you're very, very strong. And then if you combo that with Roger, Roger Florin is such a strong combo because it almost makes the Roger unkillable just because of the fact that there's global sustain, that you don't have to be nearby the Roger to actually help him out. And then you have extra shields afterwards. So that could have been a really big combo from Falcon. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Yeah, looking at the reactions coming in from both teams, it does look like, at least from the management side, CLPH, they look very happy. The players still look very focused. But one thing to know is that Falcon Esports, looking at their reaction, they don't look down. You know, it looks like, yeah, you know what, it's game number 1, whatever. We'll perform for game number 2. So, game number 2, chips, a no-go. Don't let go of the chips.
Yep.
So that's number 1. And number 2, I don't know. Let's take a vote for this, because for Falcon, I kind of want them to go for a healer route.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with you, LaFell. You know, go the healer route if you can. And will this mean that we'll have a switching of sides? I forgot
It depends.
Depends on the choice, right?
Yeah, it depends on the choice. In the best of 5, typically it's like team A. Per team, or whoever wins the coin toss gets to pick for the first.
We've been in best of 2s and best of 1s for so long.
I don't know, man.
You know, but I think that's the point. Either ban those out, the chip or the Luyi. Draft for it if you want to. If we do see, for example, Falcon Esports being on the blue side, getting that first pick priority, go with that route, or prioritize maybe even the Angela, and that rounds their lineup up with sustain.
Honestly, we've been, I would say theory crafting, but for us to know a little bit more, we got to talk to Benny. We prepared an interview with Benny from Falcon Esports, so let's check it out.
အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါကျွန်တော်ကဘီနီဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဖေကွန်ကြီးပေါ်မှာကိုလေးနာဆော့ကစားနေပါတယ်ဒီထက်အများကြီးပို့ပြီးပြင်ဆင်ရမှာပေါ့အများကြီးကြိုးစားရအောင်နည်းနည်းခက်ခဲတဲ့ပြိုင်ပွဲပြင်ဆင်ရမှာဆိုတော့အများကြီးဒီထက်အများကြီးပို့ပြီးကြိုးစားရအောင်ကျွန်တော်တို့screen တွေ training ဆော့ရင်အများနဲ့9ရောက်အများနဲ့ focus ပြီးဆော့တော့တင်ရဒီမနေ့ရတဲ့ပို့ပြီးတော့ဒီနေ့ကမနေ့ရတဲ့ပို့ပြီးတော့အများကြီးပိုကောင်းလာလို့ဒီ knockout stage ဒီရောက်လာတယ်လို့ပဲပြောချင်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့အားလုံးဒီတက်ပုံကြီးအများကြီးစူးစမ်းနေပါတယ်သူတို့နိုင်ပြီးတော့နောက်တစ်ချိန်တက်နိုင်မယ်လို့လည်းယုံကြည်ပါတယ်
So it looks like even Benny, he admits that this is going to be a rough matchup, but I like the approach where it doesn't matter if it's scrims, if it's ranked, you know, whenever they train together, they make sure they play as 5.
Yeah, they try. He said it himself. They got to try harder, and I honestly, seeing their performance here, Benny is doing that exactly, and a lot of the comebacks they had, it was also just Benny performing.
And I think Mr. Leo himself have told us some of the lore when it comes to the region and how difficult it is for them to actually trade. So I believe that there are specific times of the day where they cannot do it. They're not as developed as the other regions. So I think when we're just talking about like trying harder, this team has been trying one of the, you know, they've been trying the hardest, I would say. Like they have been trying to overcome all of these obstacles. It's a difficult spot for them to be in. And then they get matched up against Team Liquid Echo at the round 1 single eliminations.
Nature of competition.
Nature of competition, unfortunately.
Speaking of which, we got to talk about the Battle Within, because the Soul Vessel skin series are available now. Amon, Vessel of the Sea, as well as Hanabi, Vessel of Rage, are now available. So make sure you guys grab them quick, because it's only going to be around until August the 5th. So make sure you guys get the awesome skins, because the first draw is 50% off. And here's the thing, we have something else that's special in mind for you guys. But again, just to remind you guys, the first draw is 50% off for the first 10 draws as well. So make sure you guys join now. And we got to talk about Project Next update is live. Discover the fresh excitement of Equipment of Illusions and enjoy the game, as well as enjoy revitalized thriftling gameplay. Jump in now for a more dynamic and battle experience. Whew, that one is a difficult one.
You know, it's the Equipment Evolution, man.
Yes.
And if you didn't catch the videos showing off
that's
that,
awesome.
you guys have to scroll back because, I love those.
Yeah, let's come back a little bit. And, I did not expect that Malefic gun to be like that potent.
Oh, are you talking about the video, or are you talking about...
No, I mean, like...
Well, I'm thinking about both,
I
actually.
mean, like, for that, we got to talk about the U Fair as well. It's here with incredible bonuses and exciting events. Grab multiple permanent skins for free, just like Sylvana's champ skin, as well as the painted skin, Gorgeous Glam. More exciting events will be revealed, so make sure you guys watch out.
Ton of events happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I just got a peek at the Vessel skins yesterday.
Oh.
Of course, I didn't get any because I don't have any diamonds, but they look good.
Shout outs to Moontons. We need diamonds. You know, shout out to Moonton.
We do. We do. I need to play that AA Mon.
You want to play the AA Mon?
That's right.
I want to play that Hanabi.
Okay.
Well, you guys got to
Hanabi
get
Rome.
both of them first. So
Hanabi Rome.
Okay. Well, I don't want to play with Lafel anymore.
imagine you actually draw and then you get the opposite.
What did you say?
You do the.
No, not you.
I don't. If you play Hanabi Rome, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah? Well, I'll play Franco Jungle. How does that make you feel?
I want to face you in the battlefield,
Okay.
not be with you.
We'll solve it later with a 1v1.
Nah.
Yeah. We're too old for that.
We got nothing to prove, right?
Got nothing to prove.
We've been in this field. Like, we've been together since M2, man.
Yeah, that's right. We don't-
Shout outs to us. We've been doing this thing since M2. It's been a crazy journey, Wolf.
It has been. It's been.
Beard gang.
Yeah, beard gang. I wasn't part of the beard gang before.
I wasn't
You weren't?
as well.
I wasn't.
So what made? Well,
You know how long our relationship has been?
How
Maisu?
long?
I've known Leo since he had hair. That's how long it's
That's
been.
that would be. When was
that's
that?
true.
That's true, right?
That's
The
true.
M1,
That's true.
M2, M1.
That was
M2.
M2. That was M2.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, Leo had
That's
that.
how long I've known the guy.
Hey, I like Leo's look now.
No, same.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't disagree. He looks macho.
yeah.
Yes.
Not gonna lie, I was considering seeing as how I change my hair every single day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
I've known Gideon since he had a beard.
what? What? No, that's not how it works.
Can you imagine Gideon with a beard? Okay, somebody from the fans, maybe Rayash is there.
Yep. Maybe
Edit it,
Rayash.
please. Give us a,
Mick, you didn't have a beard?
yeah, just a, you know.
No.
Just edit it or
Give him
something.
a goatee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just a goatee.
Or what facial hair would suit Gideon?
You know what?
Interesting.
A goatee.
A mustache.
A stash like
Yes.
a mustachio.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Like AJ.
Wow, that would be incredible.
That will be
So Rayash, please edit that.
that will be one of the facial hairs of all time.
Yeah.
For sure. Speaking of which, we're looking at the scene here. It looks like
Speaking of which.
No, I mean, look, we got to jump into the draft, okay? Looks like Falcons Esports is going to be first pick. Team Liquid BH will be second pick here. Falcon Esports batting out the Louis, and then TLBH batting out the Angela.
Yeah.
That's smart.
You're
That's-
smart.
Where's the chip?
Well, might be the first pick for FCON if they are.
Oh, Fairness Band.
Okay, so that actually denies the chip because I feel like the two of the best heroes that can counter it, Faramis as well as the Arlet,
Yeah.
it being banned out kinda just naturally tells me that yeah, sure, TLPH will ban out the chip unless they're willing to trade that so that they can get their hands on the Ling.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I don't know. I don't think FCON wants to be the team to ban out both, right? Maybe they play with the idea of even locking in the chip themselves, and then,
Yeah.
like you said, and then go from there.
Yeah, so that means that okay, the Terzla was the ban instead of the chip, instead of the Ling. TLPH, are they willing to trade for that one? No, straight up. Okay, so that means Roger is gonna be the first pick here for FCON or Harith. Between the two, I'm very vocal about the fact that Roger might be the priority for me. Okay,
Oh, Ling.
they snatched the Ling. Wow. So you go Roger for sure. And maybe Edith this time. There it is.
Yep.
Okay, so you answer with maybe get the Valentina now if you're FCON. Get the Valentina, you take it away. They pick it up with the Ruby as well, which is great versus the Roger in many ways. And also it can be played in the gold lane if you're
Still flex, yeah.
if you still want to flex it. But then you get Aurora now, right? If you're FCON. Aurora or Valentina fits perfectly for this composition from FCON.
Yeah, because usually, didn't you say that Aurora is the answer to kind of lock down the Ling?
Yeah.
Oh, they go Harith, though.
Oh, whew. It's a massive surprise to me. But yeah, that locks up the Valentina. All standard here for TLPH. I
They'll
believe
ban it? Think they'll ban the Aurora?
they should. Yeah, I like the idea of banning that out. Maybe a Kagura ban as well. So that can be picked up by FCON. Force FCON to utilize mages that have big ultimates.
So honestly, right now, looking at both draft here, but before that, we got a game fact here. Carl Teasy hosts the second highest average KDA among all players with 17.2. Super Marco has 20.7. I mean, talk about dominating performance.
That is Super Marco with the bulletproof
Marco.
Marco. Okay, so they don't ban Kagura, they banned Farsa instead. I think Aurora should be a good ban here. But between Aurora and Kagura, I would ban the Kagura because at least with Aurora, you copy the ultimate, although that's not the most optimal one. Because if you're looking at TLPH, there's no big ultimate that you can copy apart from the I'm Offended.
Yeah.
So they banned Vex instead. Wow. Okay.
Honestly, quite a lot of bans focusing on the mid, which honestly I do appreciate because PX7 is very good when it comes to... for me personally, he's the kind of guy that backs you up instead of like bursting people down, if you guys know what I mean. Like, he's a control mage, he's not really a damage-oriented mage.
Yeah. Okay. So, you banned the Minotaur. I believe that the best here for TLPH is the Yu Zhang. With the Petrify combo. Going up against the Link, that is possible. That's very possible. I think that they will last pick their Carl TZ hero or the Benny Cutie hero, depends on what they feel like. So they will reveal Edith. Apart from that, well, Arnold is bad. They pick up Kaja.
Okay, I feel like that's actually another way to just kind of handle a Ling if you were able to get the timing. But even the Harith, like actually,
I feel like
anyone.
Person for me, I feel like the Kaja is to deny Falcon from picking a hero that wants to frontline, like a Cho, like a Grok. So they're kind of forcing Falcon to pick up a roamer that doesn't stay in the front lines.
In that case, that is Mathilda perhaps, or maybe Florin as a sustain.
Is it good though with the Link?
Not really.
Yeah.
So usually you want to get Cho here if you're FCon, and then the Aurora that we were talking about. You go Kufra. Oh man.
I don't know about this Kufra, honestly.
Yeah,
especially going up against the Kaja.
I think you're game with Beatrix now if you're TLPH. It's a very strong hero. Good combo with the Kaja. You might think about the carry, but carry might struggle versus Kufra versus Ruby, and then you have Aurora as well. Carry also loses the matchup against Harith. So if you want to fight this, but then there's also the Julian. Julian plus Kaja is great. Okay, did not expect that at all.
Okay, so, well, that was the power of that Flex Roger, right? You could flex it in.
Oh, yeah.
They lock in the Akai, so looking at TLPH's lineup, especially with the Edith, it's like maybe the second most picked hero right now, or up there.
Either ways.
Yeah, it's enough.
Either ways, the draft has been completed. Pretty interesting draft coming in from both teams. We got to see if Falcon can win this one. But with that being said, we're throwing it over to our casters.
I have to say, this is one of the very much a bold draft coming in from Falcons Esports. And not to mention that even for TLPH, they're coming in from a blast from the past, nostalgic draft, utility jungler plus a Kaja.
To be fair, I am getting Back to the Future vibes from both because, again, who expected to see the Kufra come out today? And who'd have thought that up until the very last pick, Liquid Echo would swerve us by putting the Roger back into the gold and putting a very comfortable hero into the hands of Carl DZ. He gets his Akai.
I mean, it's a beautiful draft here from both of these teams, both looking to get a win against each other as we go into the second match here at the Land of Dawn. Falcons Esports on blue side, Liquid Echo on red. I'm expecting things to get exciting at level 4, but immediately Sanji losing out his... Whoa, okay, a flicker coming in from Kidx as well. That is rather strange. I guess maybe he had an opportunity?
That's what you call a face check.
That is called a face check. I mean, Sanji's missing his Purify.
Oh, so he did force it to trigger. That's about a minute until Sanji gets it back. And this is, oddly enough, Sanji forced to respond. He's forced to just hunker down and get his EXP. He doesn't want to go home.
I think at this point of time, there's just... It's too much of a sacrifice to get a TKO so early on into this match, but he does find the trade back.
Bang!
Can they break the passive? Oh, beautiful stuff.
They know. Kid X jumping in, catches JP, and Sanji hitting the basics and the skills.
Oh, this is so rough. This is so rough. From what previously I thought that Liquid Echo, man, without that mid lane, maybe they lose Litho Wanderer. Luckily, Carl TZ is able to win out on that retreat. But even worse so, having to recall for the side of PX7 and missing out an entire wave on top of that, he's going to be a full level behind eventually.
Yep, so what Falcon Esports look to start against Sanji? claps back against him. Sanji holding his ground here. And the jump by Kid X. Could this be it? Oh, the bouncing ball keeping him stationary. Oh, the Burmese draw first blood.
Oh man, it looks like Sanji is a little uncomfortable dealing with this with Kid X right now on this Kufra. To be fair, it has been a while since we see Kufra come back into these types of games. We've seen only one other time beforehand that Kufra came into play professionally here at MSC, but for the most part of it, Liquid Echo, they got a code switch here.
Yep, now we have the turtle up. Carl Teasy holding his ground. Kid X looking for an angle. In retry range, Carl Teasy gonna go ahead and get it. Heavy spin on a Kid X, keeping him in place. Sanford gets a kill, and Royal Milk can only watch.
Take the freebies while you still can. Good thing that Liquid Echo is keeping a timer on the battle spells. Kid X still 2 seconds off until he gets it. At the same time, we do see the Ling has been roaming around the map, making sure that he's picking up as much gold as possible. It's really important that you don't lose pressure off of your EXP and as well as your mid lane, because that could result in losing a purple buff. And I mean, Ling and purple buff, they go hand in hand.
That's so Dax. Even if he wasn't playing a Ling, this is the tempo he would like to go at. Up until when he's ready, that's when he's gonna snap the finger, put on the kill switch, and say it's go time. I'm assuming maybe at least 2 core items for him, 2 solid items for the Ling before he actually joins anything, and he's far off, man. Far off.
He's pretty far off. It's going to take some time. I think this is going to be a slow burner for the most part of it, unless, you know, we see Liquid Echo kind of like break up apart. But notice them, right? They're moving in kill squads. They're making sure they don't give opportunities. And oh,
nice dodge. Benny Cutie smelt something in his midst, and he lets go. Look at that aggressive first built Sky Piercer.
Yep, he loves doing this, right? He doesn't deviate too much from his build the majority of the time. He usually has 2 go-tos, but as of right now, I think the biggest concern is whether, oh,
all right.
does he get it?
PX7 gets hit with a stolen ult. The jump in once more from Kid X. Hyperactive, this roamer from Falcon Esports. Carl Teasy catches a freeze from PX7 in mid. Oh, I think what they're doing is they're forcing a response from Dax here. The pull! Divine Judgment! Benny Cutie scores a kill on a Kid X.
Yeah, I think as of right now, the rotations coming in from Falcon Esports needs a little bit of foresight, right? I like what they're doing. They're kind of like compromising that mid lane, forcing Sanji to not really walk out of it, but the side lanes are coming at a big cost, right? Benny QT is a full level ahead at this point of time, and I think that he has a slight gold lead at this point of time. Top side ends up missing 2 minions on that rotation down to the mid, and I think at this point, Falcon Esports really need to consider how exactly do we approach this? Do we take JP out first and then consider going for more, or do they keep targeting Sanji?
Oh, here we go. I'm offended. Putting Sanford in trouble, forced to flicker out. There's the Primal Wrath. Lord still standing. Kid X gonna go down here. Nah, unless Benny Cutie finds 2 in the west. Down goes 1. Kid X taken out. There's the passive on a PX7. Benny Cutie eventually finds his prey. The fight continues. Liquid Echo starting Turtle Pit and all the way right into Falcon Esports jungle.
Yeah, I mean, they're running real fast. Let's look at the replay one more time because they committed so much onto Sanford and was not able to find that kill. As soon as they're out of resources, that's when you see the clap back. I mean, Falcon Esports, it's at this point of time, they need to kind of slow their roll a little bit. Yes, you can use your resources aggressively, like JP flickering forward, but for the most part of it, you're going to need at least 2, like you mentioned, 2 items before they get some real profit.
Yep, so he's got the Berserker's Fury, but something tells me Falcon Esports, they're not happy with the pace that Dax is farming at. Like, they want him to double time. They want him to hustle. Looking at their net worth and their items so far, it seems like it's Benny who's just on schedule. It's just Benny who's been farming up relatively carefree compared to everyone else, and I'm not so sure that's the insurance policy they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, considering that Benny QT was able to join that fight, pick up 2 kills, and an assist on top of that, like...
And then come back.
Well, we'll see, because right now, even when we're comparing EXP, like, Akai is pretty huge, and this is the influence we're talking about.
Yep. Carl Teasy now, look at this, asserting dominance. I dare you, Dax, I dare you. You want this purple buff? Come take it. He can't. Carl Teasy stole it away. Grand Theft Purple. Carl has 2 stars.
And that's why considered to be world's greatest jungler of all time. It's so brutal. It's so brutal what Liquid Echo is just doing to Falcon Esports, right? It's not like game 1 where it was about tempo. Now it's about, hey, we've already gotten through the early phase of this game. The real question is, how many mistakes is Falcon Esports going to make?
And it's less about them just tripping up. Liquid Echo are dropping banana peels. Aggressively so. Like, all right, put it here, put it here, put it here. That turtle, the purple fight, right? That was clearly a ego check by Carl Dean and say, you're going to have to do better than that. And again, this is an Akai. He can just click heavy spin whenever he's ready. Speaking of, it's off of cooldown. I don't think there's much they can do here to secure this turtle unless... Oop, clean take.
Very
yeah,
clean
Liquid
take.
Echo wants to force Falcon out of here.
I don't think. I guess he's just looking for more information here, right? He does notice where PX7 is, and I think Carl TZ is at a point, where he is just pretty unkillable at this point in time. They don't have a dedicated tank buster as well, and I don't think Benny has enough items to really take him down. Hopefully, the item list pops up because I'm assuming that Carl TZ is going to opt for some kind of MR. Yeah, there it is.
Here we go. MR on the way, right? He actually bum rushed the blade armor.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's prepping up for Royal Milk's basic attacks. He's prepping up for Dax just in case. Doesn't need it anyways, right? Now they continue. They choke out the purple. The I'm Offended coming in from Royal Milk. The jump in from Kid X, but PX7 falls first, and now it's going sideways. Double kill for the Typhoon, Benny Cutie. It's storming out here in Riyadh.
Ooh.
Triple kill for Benny, and they convert into a mid lane tier 2 off camera though. We see Benny pushing out. Can Kyle find him?
Oh!
Yes, he does. Gets
No!
the basic recalls for good measure. Where you going, little boy?
No.
Oh, Benny, he's gonna be fine though. He's all right.
I mean, but they're losing so much tempo off of this, right? Look at this. Now Liquid Echo can start moving around the map freely. The next wave that comes in, Benny has to completely sacrifice this.
Yep.
And without that recall, now he has nowhere on the map where he can like find that farm. And look, they faked him out so hard. They're just letting the minions do the work.
That's right. They undid his hard work. Here's a quick look at the replay. Honestly, in such a small piece of the map, again, this is just the purple jungle for Falcon Esports. So many things happened. Like, there were so many little fights that Benny Cutie had to keep tabs on to clean up.
Yeah, I think, coming from Liquid Echo's perspective, it's like a two-pronged attack. It's like there's purple buff, which is super important for Dax, but all of a sudden PX7 is out of position because of that. And that's why I'm saying, how many mistakes positionally can you make from the side of Falcon Esports when you want that traditional front to back and you get hit from two sides, especially now that the mid-tier 1 has been opened up and even the mid-tier 2 already cracked open. At this point, Liquid Echo can basically walk around effectively and force Falcon Esports into these forced errors.
And look at that, off camera. We didn't even have to see it much happening. They did more than just blitz it. They casually took the Lord. Scored here by Liquid Echo. Now look at the item gap between these heroes, lane per lane. 1,000 between the Ling and the Akai is much more miserable when you think that damage items are more expensive than tank items.
Totally agree with that. But at the same time, right, keep in mind that Dax is one of the only people who can actually extend this game. A missed time offended coming in from Royal Milk, good attempt. But yeah, hopefully Dax is able to continuously proxy these waves to stall things out. Because right now, it's almost a 10k gold lead on the very first Lord.
Yep. Talking about that proxying, luckily, Liquid Echo does not have the likes of a Chip or a Moskov. So their responses are actually all-in responses. They have to commit. And what was that? A forced flicker on Kid X. Oh, he walked into a lethal bush. Now Benny gonna go hunting. Chases him down. Forces a conceal play. Now Kid X coming in with the jump. The full combo, Revenge and Rage, and Benny Cutie is going to casually scratch away.
These are not atypical mistakes made by Falcon Esports. I don't know. It feels like they might have been a little tilted from game number 1 because this game pretty much feels pretty... honestly, it feels pretty over for them, right?
Scattered.
It's... I don't see an angle. Yeah.
Oh, Divine Judgment on Royal Milk. He's expired in mid. They're going to jump in the heavy spin. Up and change PX7 zip code. Send him straight through. Popping his passive and taken down. Here comes Dax. Tempest of Blades right in, trying to clear the waves. They're down 2 men. This is dangerous.
It's very dangerous. And honestly, something's telling me that Sanji in his past life was an EXP laner and only played Ruby or some sort. Because he is just hitting every single stolen. I'm offended.
He was once a jungler. That much I've learned from interviews, but I don't know about EXP laners.
I mean, I don't know. He doesn't seem to miss. Every single I'm Offended has been like extending their lead or just game breaking.
That's what ended the last game.
And I think it's going to continue into this one, right? At this point, I don't see a foreseeable future for Falcon Esports to bounce back unless we see Liquid Echo make a huge mistake. And even then, I feel like they could stat check Falcon Esports for the most part, even if it is the penultimate play.
Yeah, that's what makes these utility jungler-based lineups work so well. They're so well-rounded. They're not a coin flip from Assassins where, all right, I made the wrong entry or I didn't burst down the right person. You can find re-engages, and they come relatively cheap. I mean, sure, you have to wait close to a minute when you flub the heavy spin, but that aside, you have so many safe angles to attack from. 20 seconds until this next Lord comes up. Yeah, Dax is close to it, but I don't think he's looking to contest. He's just looking to extend the life that they have here in this game.
Oh my goodness, he's about to get one
Oh, no.
shot.
Oh, no.
He doesn't get the
Jump
lightning
in,
pounce.
wall from wall. Dax run. Dax finally lands. Not enough energy to go. Tempest of Blades through. Gonna get this sword. Get a few hits. He's burning. He's burning. It's hot. He's burning. He survives. Cyclone Eye out. Kid X trying to go put up the wall through, but Benny Cutie jumps in, tracking. Dax taking him down. Now it's Kid X's turn to get punished. Double kill for Benny Cutie. While this while Carl DZ was taking the Lord. How many stacks does this young man have on his spear, sir?
Oh, that's gotta be so upsetting. Kid X walks out, tries to conceal his boy Dax so that they can both freely walk away with the extra movement speed. They saw the conceal being used by Liquid Echo, so they had no real means to catch up. And now Benny QT has been just taking all of these kills, 8-0-3, and has a GDS. This man is living in the future.
He's running on all fours. Even in human form, it looks like he's in Lycan form. That's how fast he is. Another flicker and a Divine Judgment. Royal Milk taken out by Sanji. The 1 and 2, the alley-oop. Forcing out Tempest of Blades here from Dax. Put in Lord here. At a quarter of its health, a tenth of its health. Taken down. They're alive, but barely breathing. Turret taken down in mid. Top lane as well. It's a bare base left for the Burmese. Are they going to be a match point? Liquid Echo going in with a stampede. Betty's going to try to defend, but it's over. 2-0. For the champions of MPL Philippines.
Oh my goodness, what a brutal game this was. What an absolute beatdown from TLPH. Whenever you're expecting to see Falcon Esports bounce back, they take away their resources. They're giving them leg kick upon leg kick upon leg kick.
And that just stops you from getting up even. Don't even think about throwing out strikes of your own.
Yeah, I mean, your ankle's honestly breaking at this point. I think at this point, Falcon Esports, they need to calm down. They cannot be making these simple mistakes time and time again. And I think, unfortunately, yeah, this is a very tempo-based meta that they have to really consider how to make those first approaches effective.
I'm thinking they should just regroup, start at 0, find that groove back, find the spirit.
All right, well, with that being said, let's throw it over to our analyst once again. Break it down for us. What could have been done better?
I mean, honestly, when it comes to what comes down better, I kind of feel like it starts in the draft because, again, I feel like this Kufra pick going up against Kaja, it's kind of a rough matchup, at least for me.
Yeah, rough to deal with. I like the idea of, you know, they picked up the Ling, and we've seen teams find success with these Assassins, but this makes me also kind of go back a little bit and think, man, you know what? Utility junglers like this Old Faithful Akai pick from Carl TZ still work really well as well.
And the reason why it works so well is that because they knew how to utilize it from, from the early game to the latter portions of the game. One of the traits of the Carl TZ Akai is that it is never gonna be under-leveled. And typically, teams that fail with the Akai get under-leveled. So much, get punished so much, but TLPH just knows how to farm well and protect their own jungle. And also, I think Benny QT just is very comfortable with his hero. As well as Sanji. Sanji with the Ruby plays always just keeps his tabs on copying the I'm Offended, and was always on point with it as well.
Yeah, I would say, again, Carl is the GOAT. He has mastered the damage dealer assassins. He's mastered the utility jungler assassins because we've seen him actually using the heavy spin I would say aggressively and defensively. Like we've seen the Kufra engages getting canceled by his heavy spin. So I kind of feel like this is one of those situations where I do have to say that the draft was won by TLPH because they have multiple answers towards the problem that Falcon Esports present.
Man, just looking at this, like Gideon said, it was, a beatdown. It was very rough. Look at just the disparity in terms of the gold gain of the items even. And that's always, I feel like, the coin flip you play, like Leo mentioned. When you pick an assassin and you start wrong, it's already difficult to make it work, but if you start off on a bad note or behind, getting back in position to even things out is even more difficult.
It seems like TLPH, them knowing how to utilize the assassin junglers means that they also know how to counter it. And the answer is always the Valentina. It kind of revolves around, especially when you're given access to the Ruby, because the combo, so it seems, for FCON is Ling plus Ruby.
Yeah.
And they also utilize the Ruby plus the Roger. So it's like the Ruby will always be part of the composition of the wish list that they're always doing, which means that now the Valentina is going to be having a lot more stock because you counter the enemy jungler and you also kind of counter the roamer / the EXP laner for this one. So maybe for FCON, ban the Valentina next game.
Personally as well, I kind of feel like this is a bad matchup of rock, paper, scissors where Falcon wants to win in the later stages of the game, but TLPH is very good at ramping up their advantages because, again, 1,000 gold feels like 6,000, 7,000 for TLPH. So they're coming in with the draft and they're coming in with the game plan. Is that, okay, we stall, we try to contest for some turtles, but our main plan is to just win team fights against TLPH. But the thing is, you got to figure out how to slow them down. And I feel like that's the biggest problem. Falcon Esports cannot find a way to slow down TLPH.
I mean, even if you look back at the MPL Philippines Grand Finals, at that point, Falcon's AP Bren couldn't find a way to slow down, Liquid Echo here.
Yeah.
And that seemed to be the case even throughout MSC so far.
Yeah, and honestly, I do feel like they have to make a bit of a risk coming into game number 3. I'm not talking about letting go the chips or Louis. I kind of feel like that's a little bit too much, but change your game plan, change your mindset to win one lane, either mid, EXP, or gold, and try to get some kind of advantages in that particular area. Because I feel like if you just let TLPH win everything, you're not going to get to the late game that you want to.
Yeah, I believe that there's some magic as well from what Team Liquid Echo has been doing in this particular case, because they're looking at a composition where the wave clear is much faster on their side. They have the Valentina plus the Kaja. Kaja clears the wave so fast because of the passive as well as skill 1. And then you're looking at the Valentina as well. And the XP side, that's the Edith that also clears it faster because of the onward combo. And then obviously the Akai, surprisingly one of the slower utility junglers when it comes to clearing the waves. But if you get your Motonescence fast, like what he did,
Farm pretty well, yeah.
Farm pretty well. So they clear the wave so fast, they eventually get into jungle invasions and they win afterwards. So yeah, that's also part of the recipe.
Yeah, and now we got to look at our Sony MVP, and it's going over to JP using that Kaja, where again, very proactive, but the way that he plays in this game, he doesn't always have to be proactive. He can be reactive as well.
When you look at this, and Wolf kind of touched on this a little bit, especially with that Kaja pick locked in, and then you already pick a risky lineup that's meant to get the momentum going, but if a Kaja just picks off one member here, things quickly fall apart with the lineup that Falcon Esports brought to the table.
Yeah, but again, it was given the go-ahead. By the way, JP, always on point with the snack. He was able to catch the Aurora in this case. BX7 being eliminated early, despite having the ultimate, means that there isn't any lockdown afterwards. So they are this lineup coming out from FCON is also combo dependent, so taking out one after the other makes a lot of sense why they pick up the Kaja afterwards. 12 KDA, by the way.
Which is amazing, 86% kill participation. And honestly, I look back into the draft, there's not really a good target for Dax to try to assassinate. You can't go to the Edith, you can't go to the Akai. Honestly, even going against the Roger, I feel like Betty Cutie can outplay that. So it becomes a situation where I'm pretty sure he wants kills. He's just like, who? Everyone's protected. You go somewhere, you see JP. You go somewhere, you see Carl Teasy. You go somewhere, you see Sanford. So it's like everyone's a bodyguard. And with that, like, Wolf, can you explain it to us a little bit more with your Telestrator?
Oh yeah, we got Bob here, right?
Bob,
Bob,
thank you
Bob.
very much, Bob. Bob is the Telestrator.
So this happened around the 7-minute mark. I'm gonna show you a clip that happened at 7-minute mark. This is interesting because usually around this time you're still trying to stabilize the lanes. And one thing that you have to take note about the Ling is that it is purple buff dependent. Right?
Yeah.
You wanna choke him
Yes.
in the jungle. So if we just zoom in on the minimap for a little bit, right here you're not gonna see it. But well, you're gonna see the bottom lane, which is also more important. Maybe look at the red dots that you might not be able to really just clear out of there. There you go. The waves are cleared in the mid lane, and then in the bottom lane it is pushed out. So the defense out here coming out from FCON is not gonna be enough. So the first step always for jungle invades, which TLPH is doing here, is to clear the side lanes, clear the mid lane, try to go for the engage. Now JP and Sanji are gonna be hiding. Only Cartesian and Soundfurther are showing themselves, and this really caught PX7 off guard because he wanted to land that stun, and that meant that JP was able to jump on him, and then they go out again, outplay him, and then they go in out and in out afterwards. Cartesian just focused on one goal, which is to choke the jungle, and once he's done that, he just, okay, I'm gonna head out.
I'm
He's
out.
literally, I'm out here. And by the way, if we just scroll back a little bit, before the actual fight happened, there are so many things that TLPH actually did correctly in this game, which is to identify their strengths. Okay, so if Moss is just elevated, this will be very quick now. Harith is up top. You can see through the minimap, which means that this will be a 4v5 scenario. And TLPH, despite them having they have a 6,000 gold lead at this time, they're still checking all of their check boxes. They're making sure that everything is safe. They go 5v4 in that purple buff. They cleared the lanes. They did their due diligence, practically checkmating FCON that moment.
Honestly, that's a very good catch coming in from Wolf. If you want to invade the jungle, make sure that your side lanes, as well as your mid lane, is properly pushed out so that while a fight is going on, even if you don't get the kills, the opposing side will actually have a tougher time because the minions are going to come in. So even if you don't win the fight, you're winning the macro play.
Yes. The worst thing that can happen is maybe one of their members gets killed. Well, probably maybe Sanji, but that's difficult. At this point, Kaltizi is difficult to take out because he's got the Molten Essence and the Blade Armor at this point, 7 minutes in. As the utility jungler, maybe if they go all in, maybe they can take Kaltizi. Still very difficult.
And that's why, too, at that same clip timing, the fleeting time was picked up by JP at that point. So like he was already wrecking havoc with the Divine Judgment, but now that he picked up the fleeting time, and then it's happening more. And that's why also there was no answer to get to Benny Cutie, man. What was his final KDA? It was
8-0
and something?
803, 804.
With a
something
war
like
cry emblem?
Yeah.
My goodness.
There you go.
The thing is, honestly, Carl Teasy, no matter what utility jungler he's been using, I guess this is more of a meta update when it comes to his builds. He's actually been rushing that Blade Armor. So apparently most utility junglers now, they can deal-ish with the magic dealers, or this is just a Carl Teasy thing where he's like, I'm not going to be messing with the mid lane. It's going to be JP as well as Sanji's job to deal with them. I'm just going to make sure that the physical damage dealers are dealt with.
Is this the answer because of just, now not priority, but more assassins being picked up? So if you pick a utility jungler, you just rush?
Blade Armor.
Yeah, I guess
Maybe
so.
that's the case.
Yeah, because you can literally outlast, and it's not worth it to go for that place. For going onto Akai, for example, not only does he have the heavy spin, but he also has the Blade Armor. So it's always less rewarding to go for the junglers now. Utility junglers, I mean.
Well, with that being said, right now it is match point. If Team Liquid Echo wins this one, not only will they move on to the semifinals, but Falcon Esports, not just do they lose, they have to give their keys to TLPH. So this is the ritual for
That's
the knockout
brutal.
stage.
Yeah.
It's not that, you hand it over to Sandstorm or Mara, and then no, you have to give it. You have to physically hand it over to the ones that took you down. That's brutal and legendary. And now we're jumping straight into the bans here. Falcon Esports are going to be first pick again.
Yeah.
Team Liquid Echo are going to be in the second pick. They ban out the Louis as well as the Angela. Looks like TLBH, they understand the formula. Ban out the Angela, ban out the Faramis.
I'm just really, I'm going to let Wolf answer this because I'm sure a lot of people supporting here for Falcon Esports also want to know, like, based off those two games and how one-sided it was, what does FCON do to come out and hopefully not get swept here.
If they feel like it's gonna be Dax who is their win condition, I think I'm more comfortable for them staying in the assassin jungler route. But don't get greedy and pick up Harith, because that means that you have to take care of two things. If they really love to pick up the Ruby, put it in the gold lane so that you have your base covered, right? I believe that PX7 is very strong with these nuke mages like the Aurora, like the Farsa. So maybe take advantage of that. I think that the first step now, if they want to force a game number 4, is to ban Valentina, which they didn't now. And also, don't pick up the Harith anymore. So if they do pick up the Link this time, okay. If tier TLPH, this is Roger Valentina.
I mean, the Ling has been picked up here for Falcon, so I don't know. I just feel like Kid X is very good when it comes to his positioning, when he's using this healer, so I'm hoping for a change. Like, I feel like the Ling is fine. I would almost say go double fighter at this point.
Okay, so that is indeed the Roger Valentina, right? That we predicted. And then there is the maybe Ruby is the next one, or Aurora for the side of Fog. Okay, so it's
This Valentina Roger? Okay.
oh, this might be flipped. Yeah, that is indeed. They still go for the Harith. Okay.
I mean, this time they have a Terizla, which is a little bit better, but still.
It's still expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive, yeah.
Yep. So they immediately go for Kaja or TLPH.
Honestly, for this one, maybe if they pick up the Flora, maybe a little bit better, because I would say the Harv as well as the Terizla can use it quite well.
Yeah. What's gonna happen here is that they're gonna be giving up the Aurora again. This time the 4th pick will be different. This is Valentina, Roger, and Kaja. So I think EXP lane is gonna be next for.
Is Yuzhong still up, right?
Yep. Yuzhong.
What about Edith? Is Edith still?
Edith
banned out.
Yuzhong. So
She's
that's
on
the Vex. So this could be Lapu Lapu ban, and then TLPH will just pick up Benedetta afterwards. That's just like the natural course for TLPH.
Oh, they themselves ban out the Ruby, actually.
So either Lapu Lapu or Benedetta for Paquito.
Yeah.
Insta pickup as well. Doesn't take time to think about that one.
You gotta watch the back door too. Always a possibility.
True.
Okay. I hope this is Aurora Tigreal for FCon.
All right, now let's see here. Player code. I drank a lot of milk because this is the highest prize pool tournament in MLBB history. From Royal Milk.
I guess this is Aurora plus Minotaur instead.
I drink a lot of milk too.
I like coffee.
Yeah. I'm trying to guess if this will be like Mathilda to kind of help them, or maybe Florin.
Honestly, Matilda is not bad. I feel for this
Yeah, I
one.
think Florin.
The only thing is Matilda is definitely going to get caught by the Kaja. I feel like any frontline is going to have a little bit of trouble. I mean, they have an answer with the Terizla, right? So if someone pulls them in, that was almost Zask!
What?
Okay. So at least we get the Tigreal. Makes a lot of sense. Zask. Okay.
Okay.
So they still go high. So
You said risk. This is
Practically-
risk.
Yes.
practically the same for Team Liquid Echo. Because they last pick the Akai.
Yeah, the last bit, okay. So this is basically the same draft coming in from TLPH. Now, Falcon Esports injecting a little bit of risk. I like it. But is it enough to win this game? That question, I'm going to throw it over to the casters.
Appreciate it, boys. Once again, we're getting some wilder things coming in from Falcon Esports. Like, I have to admit, the Zask is going to be pretty interesting, and there's also the interaction of his ult being stolen by Valentina once more, as we see almost pretty much the exact same lineup, other than a couple of changes here and there, like Terry Bogard coming in.
Which is something that Sanford did in the group stage that hopefully Falcon Esports watches out for. I'm sorry, I'm still not over the fact that we're seeing Zask here in Falcon Esports' possible last stand, that they have to make this work.
I mean, you got to respect it, right? The last time I saw Zask being played was Snapdragon Pro Series, but I think at this point, Falcons, they're already pushed into a corner. They need some sort of answer, and I think, you know, as long as the mid lane is under control, which I think they're still going to prioritize this game, that's probably their biggest driving force.
It has an interesting interaction with the Divine Judgment, even with the heavy spin. The aforementioned IMU with the Dominator Descent. I'm not so sure if Sanjay wants to prioritize sealing that, or the penalty zone, or even the implosion, but hey, new interactions and possibly new results here for game number 3.
I think Sanji is most likely going for the penalty zone or the implosion. But then again, you know, in the previous couple of games where he has played Valentina, like, he can get a little wild with it, right? So I think at this point of time, the early game is going to be so important, right? Fighting for these Little Wanderers, as many neutral objectives as possible. The bigger ones, maybe let the first turtle go through, right? Get PX7 in a better position before considering taking these fights.
Yep. Already you can see here Kid X pushing the boundaries of what he can do with a Tigreal. Its passive actually is a little better against a different mid duo because JP and Sanji both deal magic damage. So he's not as chunky compared to, like, let's say if that was a traditional tank roamer, you know, that deals physical damage. Down bottom, you have Royal Milk versus Sanford. I can see why Sanford's kind of struggling.
Yeah, I mean, no surprises here, right? Even Sanford himself is like, okay, I'm just going to have to wait until level 4 before we can really start trading against each other. And more so, he's not looking to win this lane. It's more so he wants to be able to match the lane against Royal Milk and still show up on time. And, well, I personally think that Liquid Echo, they're targeting Dax hard. He goes in, they've got so many different answers.
Which makes his job a little harder. Oh, no! PX7 gets bursted down. Sanji with a stolen penalty zone. Coming in against Royal Milk, wailing away. And they go up. The response from Royal Milk as well with the flicker fadeaway. All this while they were playing defensively, Carltz secures the turtle. Kid X able to survive, flickers back. Can Dax survive here? Can Dax get away? He has to give up his small camp. Nope, still fighting for it. And Royal Milk, wow, knocks out Sanford.
I think Sanford's a little upset there. He's like, man, well, I mean, that body of the Smith is tougher than usual, but Carltz should be able to find it. Yep, push him away. Wait.
What? Oh, the body of Smith able to keep Royal Milk alive alongside a combination of his brave smite, keeping him topped up. Dax cleans up Benny Cutie as he tries to get away, runs the opposite direction into Falcon Esports jungle. What's going on?
I think we can safely say that Liquid Echo is feeling a little too comfortable here.
Too comfortable.
Way too comfortable. I mean, I have to admit, their decision-making in terms of punishing their opponents, like Sanford flickering, knowing that Zask isn't level 4, without the Dominator's descent, he has no means of escape.
Yep. And I think this is a wake-up call for Liquid Echo. Like, all right, we gotta take it easy. Again, they are up now by about 300, 500 gold. And an instant replay. Okay, so he did heal up a bit. And I'm sure there was a level of Body of Smith damage reduction that kept him alive from those heavy spin procs.
That's so unfortunate.
Oh, here we go. One more time. Up top, Kid X pulled in. 3-man kill squad from Liquid Echo.
Was that necessary, Sanji? I felt like that was a bit overkill, including the IMU implosion on top of it all. But hey, a kill's a kill, and definitely kind of tells the rest of Liquid Echo, hey, we're not making any more mistakes. Let's guarantee these kills and get back into this game before we start getting comfortable again.
Whatever gets the job done. Despite the fumbles from Liquid Echo, I have a sense that Benny's playing very, very conservatively, like Benny from Myanmar, right? Because he's down on EXP. I'm not so sure what the gold situation is, but I can smell that Benny Cutie actually is a little bit more pushed forward. Now look at them, racing down to the turtle. As Royal Milk and Carltz wail away at it, at less than half health. JP looking in. There's the ult, the implosion coming through. Heavy spin, Tempest Ablaze, ult thrown out the window, left and right. Sanji secures the turtle for his team as they all disperse.
Huh? What? How? What? Why is Sanji the one picking up the turtle here? It just manages to survive despite 2 retributions. Sanji, by the way, is the one that picks up that neutral. And at this point in time, everybody's going to start pushing towards the top side of the map. But look at this one more time, right? The implosion comes through, Dax jumps in, and then we finally see the stolen penalty zone actually getting involved. Sorry, Royal Milk coming in with a flicker with the penalty zone to kind of shake things up. And honestly, it's not that bad. I think that Carl did a good job with the heavy spin, but now Dax, he's dead.
Just snapped out of existence. Well, all right. There seems to be a fight that happened here just north of their purple jungle side, and we can only assume what happened. But regardless, that is a huge loss for Falcon Esports. That's a core hero that they shouldn't have afforded to have gone down. I have a theory as to what happened in that jungle turtle fight, but we'll talk about it later. After this implosion coming in, Sanji slain. by PX7, serving up a kill.
The overkill on top of overkill. Both sides are like, we need to get the job done. We cannot allow our opponents to be walking away with a sliver of health. Guarantee these kills.
No quarter. Whatever they need to do to make sure that you go down and we find a conversion elsewhere. Because again, a man missing is a spot for Falcon Esports to rotate into. So if Sanji's gone, that means mid can be leaned hard into. And that allows them to keep this gold lead slightly manageable. 1,000 in. Now JP in trouble. Forced into that wall by Benny. Oh, here comes the Zaman Force. Gets the kill in. That's a roamer. Taken down. But I think, yeah, JP will be back for the turtle, man.
Yeah, he's going to be back for the turtle, and at the same time, we are seeing Sanford actually proxying the wave onto Royal Milk, right? So he's going to be on that turtle first. They can sit on top of it, and we'll see what Liquid Echo decides to do. For the first time, we are seeing that Falcon Esports up by 2 kills, 5-3. But let's bring it back a little bit, right? Because this purple buff is such a big objective for Falcon Esports that Liquid Echo consistently apply pressure.
It's not just an objective, man. It's a necessity
It's like a mini lord.
for Dax. And if they don't get it on him, then they're fighting half-cocked. Check this out. The ult already spent in by PX7. Sanford checking the flank, making sure nothing comes out. Implosion coming in from Kid X. Royal Milk scores the kill on to Sanji. Now JP, Benny, and Carl walking away. Heavy spin. Oh, they're forced to be on the defense now as Sanford attempts to burst down Dax. Kid X puts up a barrier, checking on JP. Sanford coming back to the scene. Dax scores the last turtle for his team. Flicker out by Sanford. Suddenly, Falcon Esports are alive.
Oh, all right. They're coming back, right? They finally dealt with the tilt. They're realizing, hey, this is our moment right now. If we succumb to pressure, then what does that say about us? Let's show Liquid Echo what we're all about. As we look at this replay here, look at this. Kid X gets 3 people with a flicker implosion, catching 3 of the most important members that could disrupt the combo to begin with. Most importantly, they're still targeting Sanji.
And Sanji is not all the better for it. He's actually down about 200, 300 gold from PX7, who himself hasn't really been having a cakewalk of a time in mid, right? PX7 has been working hard to make this off-meta hero a thing. And Carl-TZ walks into that bush, gets pushed in, gets knocked up. PX7 looking for the free hits. Carl-TZ forced to use a heavy spin defensively. He gets taken down by the Alien Dominator coming in from the galaxies. And now JP down to 5th of his health. Revenge strike by Royal Milk. Not enough damage to force a kill on the JP. And they send the cavalry packing. Falcon Esports on the aggressive.
I think that Liquid Echo may have underestimated them a little too much. And again, all of this is just snowballing out of control from the earlier stages of the game, right? If we look at this replay one more time, this was a very interesting decision. I think they weren't expecting Royal Milk to show up for this fight because nobody was visible on the map at that point of time.
Yeah, what this tells me is Falcon Esports have to commit to their flickers. Like, if Liquid Echo haven't been counting flickers down to the second, they have to now. Because so far, back-to-back, those are the team fights that Falcon Esports win.
For the time being, after looking at the goal differences here, Benny QT just ever so slightly ahead of Benny from Falcon Esports. And that's the big insurance policy, right? But that's under a very large condition, where the Liquid Echo could chunk out the members of Falcon Esports effectively. They already have to deal with a bunch of stuff, right? Kid X has his passive to naturally be tanky, and Benny QT will have to wait patiently. PX7 is by far the most annoying hero to deal with for the entirety of the lineup of Liquid Echo. So Sanford, if he's not targeting PX7, he's looking towards Dax and Benny. And for the most part, as long as he's standing around the little alien sentry turret PX7 has, then there's not much you can do. The slow from it is pretty obnoxious.
Yep, and again, the damage that it deals, it's a combination of burst and DOT. So you have to really watch out. Royal Milk here, chunked down by Sanji and Carl. Kid X, check in the corners, clearing these corridors. And now the Lord dance continues.
Interesting.
We've been here about 10-15 seconds now. It's bursting down Dax. Kid X not really checking that northern part of the fight. Royal Milk, he's burning. Oh, here comes JP with a Divine Judgment. The implosion on the 3 and the pushback. Heavy spin by Carl-TZ. Here we go. Benny dancing on. Drops the 7-4. Sanford in trouble. Able to dash away. Dash looking for the secure. Gets the kill. Knocking out Terry Bogard. Straight out for Kid X. 1 for 1 so far. Where is this fight going? Lord gets hard reset. Liquid Echo, majority of them at half health. They're playing around their side as Falcon Esports. Oh, they're playing with fire. They're staying here.
I think they can rush this down, right? I mean, it's a 50-50. Good luck, Dax.
Can they? Here comes Carl Teasy looking for it. Secures the Lord, steals it away, but pays with his life. Oh, wow. You know what? For all intents and purposes, I'll say that's worth it.
I think that's hella worth it. I mean, to be fair, Dax technically shouldn't be in that position anyways. When you're playing against an Akai, you want to be on the outer sides away from those walls. And he's got a 2-level lead on top of Carl Teasy, which again, very surprising, right? Dax has been power farming and also getting attacked in his own jungle. So coming to this point of time, we're seeing the big item power spikes. I'm expecting a BOD coming from Dax at any second now, but for the most part of it, they have taken off the shades, right? They're not tunnel visioning as hard. Royal Milk is doing one thing with PX7, but even Kid X, he is opening his eyes to the rest of the map to see whether Liquid Echo is gonna go for that two-pronged attack in game number 2.
And what makes this all the more dangerous for Liquid Echo is the fact that Royal Milk has his Flicker. Benny has his Purify, and we're waiting about half a minute until Kid X gets his Flicker as well. So Liquid Echo have to all the more respect the potential for Falcon Esports to turn this fight upside down. The Divine Judgment on the Royal Milk. Try flickering into that, Liquid Echo says, as they force an ult out of PX7. This is a tough response from Falcon Esports. Sanji coming in with a stolen implosion. Underneath, he gets punished by the turret. PX7 gets a kill. Sanford knocked out as well. Dax picks up his BOD. Now he's gonna hurt a little bit more. The conceal from Kid X. Spots Carl Teasy. Where you going? There's enough damage here. Looking for it. One more hit. Oh, the killing spree for Dax. Falcon Esports are online.
Liquid Echo is overheating. That was such a cool play, but between the Dominator's Descent, you basically you put him between two turrets, the tier 1 and the ult coming in from PX7. And as much as JP was absorbing a little bit of the damage, they quickly turned it around. Like, great engage from Sanji's side, but was this the correct decision to make? I don't think so. I think that Liquid Echo was just being overly confident that Betty QT could clean things up as long as they are low, but they can't even get that done.
I think this is coming off the back of that trade from Carl Teasy. The Lord for Carl Teasy trade is at the same level of that level of aggression underneath tier 1. They did not respect Falcon Esports' potential for a clapback, a massive clapback, and a cheap clapback at that. It cost him just but Benny's Purify. All the flickers are online.
Yep, I think it's by far very worth it. This allows Falcon Esports to actually have a lot of tempo on Liquid Echo. In this upcoming next fight, they're expecting that JP is going to try and make a flicker play, but they have to really consider their options, right? Who walks out first? And I think it's always got to be Royal Milk. He is the most expendable because Kid X's ultimate on that implosion is so very important here. And if he goes down too soon into that fight, then you're hoping for a lot of Royal Milk in like 1v3 and hold off while the front line gets melted away by Daxon as well as Benny.
Which is a bit of an oxymoron, a paradox, if you will, because if you want to burst down Royal Milk, you got to go all in. He has that passive. It's not like Royal Milk on the Terizla is a softie. So that gives Liquid Echo a lot to deal with. For the first time in this best of 5, they're down on kills, down on objectives, down on economy. So this Lord, I'm guessing Carl Teasy can't just willingly throw his body at it again. Not the way that the past Lord has gone, the past couple of Lords have gone.
Well, I hope Dax has learned his lesson here, right? Don't stand too close to the wall. Especially don't be inside of the pit. I think even from the previous match, the traditional Akai versus Frederick matchup, that's the one thing you have to worry about. Now, ooh, okay, Blood Wings coming in from Benny. That's going to keep him alive for this upcoming fight. Nobody has been really able to close the distance on Benny so far, as long as they are playing in a traditional front to back.
Yep, check out this delayed entry by Benny Cutie, keeping himself scarce. I don't think Falcon Esports know that he's there. Here's the dance, a slight pull. Lord here at a third of its health. Royal Milk down to half. Oh no, are we approaching the point of no return? We might even get a full-on reset here. That's it. I mean, this does favor Liquid Echo. This allows for them to reset their positioning, and allows for them to do a little bit of wave management, given that Falcon Esports pushed in mid, get a chunk of that mid tier 2.
Rather interesting. It looks like Falcon Esports now kind of probing at Liquid Echo is like, come on. Come on, Royal Milk is like, he's half HP. He's walking up even further. He's taking the true damage from Lord as well.
This is what you want, right?
So just jump on in. And even then, FCon, they are smart. Dax, now with that purple buff, makes all the difference in this fight. They can deal with this and juggle it for as long as they want, and they might even get a split push in while they're at it.
Yep, their waves are a little stronger, better position this time around.
Whoa.
And we see here Sanford cleaning up. Kid X spot in the back line. Here comes the Lord, secured by Carl Teasy. Penalty zone by Royal Milk, unable to punish Carl Teasy as he exits with the heavy spin, gets caught up by the implosion. A Tempest of Blades in as well. A lot of ults thrown in to punish Carl Teasy. And now the ult from PX7 moving through. Benny Cutie, check out this angle. Coming in, jumping from the south.
Ooh.
Collapsing, intercepting. Benny with the Zaman Force, displaced. Liquid Echo don't want to dance here, don't want to fight here. As JP and Sanji fight him through. JP gets his immortality popped in. And he's going to go down here unless they keep going. The shutdown by Benny Cutie.
But he gets taken down in trade, right? They both go down with the Luminous Lord starting to walk on out of here. Falcon Esports, they don't want to start losing turrets for free at this point of time, but they need to start clapping back. Let Dax do his own thing. The rest of us, we got to take this tier 2. We've got some housekeeping.
That's a super expensive comeback from Liquid Echo. Sure, they scored the Lord. Sure, they got a couple kills on the way out. But they paid the price, man. Look, the map became blue because of what they just did, or because of what Falcon Esports did to respond to their short-term comeback.
I think they understand that if they let that Lord start to push out the way that it did and Falcon Esports start walking up, they're going to be able to start stealing away the economy here, right? They can start stealing jungle camps, for an example. And I think that Liquid Echo wants to minimize that damage by trading proactively against Falcon Esports to keep them on their toes. But let's look at the gold distributions here, because overall, we are seeing that both gold laners are basically getting to their full build. I think at this point, 45 to 50,000. Okay, so that means Benny has extra surplus money for item swapping. Benny doesn't have that benefit just yet.
But I don't think Benny Cutie needs it. Looking at the way he's built right now, he just needs a better entry into a fight. Earlier on, he went in where Falcon Esports were clumped up, only half of them at half health. So he's not making the most of the Sky Piercer, not making the most of the Blade of Despair. And I don't know where Liquid Echo can find that angle, because they have to set it up the hard way. Carl DZ is putting the objectives on his back. Like, he's throwing his life and body at these things and is willing to die. So that's one member of yours. There's no other appeal. There's no other real way to fight front to back against Falcon Esports, who can basically draw a straight line through you.
Exactly. And I think that Carl TZ is going to be the big player here who needs to kind of disrupt that positioning, right? But what's the most ideal? You're going to have Royal Milk kind of isolated by himself, maybe even Kid X, right? But at the same time, I think the most opportune moment probably will be having a fight by the pit or in lane. Once you start getting to those choke points in the jungle, as much as Carl TZ is like, maybe I can get like a 3-man like lockdown, I think that is more beneficial for Falcon Esports now that you're in tight corners.
Yeah, I'd reckon maybe fight where there's no objective. Fight when it's actually just heroes. Because the fact that Carl TZ has to think about his opponents and the major objective makes it a tougher call for Liquid Echo, because they also have to perfect the art of the turn. Now Carl TZ here, sandwiched by 3. PX7, Kid X, and Benny. I wonder if he knows he might just be baiting this out. Royal Mick responds. Look at the back line. Royal Mick catches 3. JP taken down. PX7 secures the kill. In comes Dax with delayed response. The implosion giving Benny Cutie a kill. On to Benny, and Carl TZ now down 3 for none so far. Falcon Esports are soaring.
I think they might be able to close out this game here. They got they've got 2 Ballista minions walking up to this crystal. Sanford, you gotta do something.
Oh no, that's it. Underneath the base, Zaman Force spelt in. 2-1. 2-1. The Burmese live on, forcing game 4.
Woo, boy. All right, we got a real series on our hands here, boys. Falcons finally making sure that their communication is clean. They're able to focus on what is important, and most importantly, they're not tunnel visioning.
I don't know what went wrong for Liquid Echo there. They were doing pretty well for the first half, and then suddenly they just kept going for expensive plays that, honestly, Falcon Esports punished.
They got too comfortable. That's what I'll say. They got very comfortable, and they're probably not as practiced against the Zask in particular, because there's a lot of situations where you're like, oh, if somebody's tanking it, maybe we can go even further and continue this dive. And I think that it's hard to calculate if you don't have a lot of scrims against it. But with that being said, let's throw it over to our analyst to have a deeper dive into that drafting game.
I'm diving.
That's a dive. That's pretty deep.
That's pretty. Either ways, we got a match here because now it's 2-1. Falcons win it with the Zas. Nice. First impressions. What do you think?
Zask, I'm always a fan of these mage picks that come through that aren't necessarily quote unquote meta, and maybe that is part of the equation here. Like Gideon mentioned, maybe they haven't scrimmed against the Zask pick so much, so they were kind of caught off guard from it.
This is the calculated risk that I wanted.
The calculated risk that you wanted, yeah. Okay, so nerding out a little bit here when it comes to like the semantics of the game. Valentina Valentina is countered by Zask in many ways, especially in the mid lane because it's hard to kind of because you're essentially melee if you're Valentina.
Yeah.
So you have to get up close and personal. Zask denies that. You cannot stay. You walk actually very slow. If you don't have your double dash, you're quite in trouble. Assassins generally don't like to play against Zask because you have so many ways to outplay. You can get inside your ultimate, flicker your ultimate, then dash out of there. So it's like a triple dashes if you think about it.
Yep.
And then you also survive. Assassins cannot literally like eliminate this nightmaric spawn that easily. And then come to the late game, you have the Winter Crown that eventually will be a problem. Also, if you have an awkward jump, if you're an assassin that has only one jump that has to reset, which you know is very awkward for Roger. The continuous damage now from the Zask is a problem because before you have to attack someone, right? Now it's like a continuous. It's like a laser.
Yeah.
Right. That's a problem for anyone that it jumps in the wrong way. If you jump and you cannot get out of that zone, you get slowed down so much. You get constant damage, and yeah, it's terrible to play against. So I'm not saying that Zask is the best hero because that's the way to describe it. It's like almost perfect, right? But it's annoying to play against when you're a Valentina and if you're an assassin-based composition.
I mean, I would say the instant slow kind of helps the entire team to actually follow up the team fight, right? But with that being said, we still got to give props to Carl Teasy, man. He didn't lose the retro battle.
He made it look so easy.
He made it look so easy.
I don't know.
It's like 1v4.
I got
I'd
it.
win. Nice. I'd win. I'd win.
I'd win. Nah, I'd win. And I still am quite sus about this Akai pickup game number 3, I would say. I mean, it worked game number 2, but in this particular case, it's weird to see Carl TZ in this case, especially when you have Valentina that wants to copy the implosion, and then you have the heavy spit, so it's like anti-symmetry in most ways. I feel that there are other choices for Carl TZ to have gone with this Akai. Nevertheless, he made it look good.
I mean, like, perhaps he just doesn't want to take the risk because, again, looking at the draft, it's more or less the same. But now we actually got to look at our Sony MVP, and it's going to be Royal Milk. Starting the game off with 2 kills. I mean, again, with help coming in from the turrets, but still, a kill's a kill. Looking at here, Carl TZ perhaps overestimated the amount of damage that he does and underestimated the body of Smith.
The body of Smith. How many times has that passive with the Trizla saved, you know, anyone playing him? But yeah, again, it was great usage too. Sometimes he wasn't even utilizing the flicker to start things off. He was just really good being up front, battling out, zoning out the members from Liquid Echo.
Yeah. And this means that FCON, all they needed to do was to group up as 5. There was a time where around 6 minutes in, they started to really just clump up together, allowed the Link to kind of de-push if that is even needed at a certain point. Then just constantly press the situation, because now for the side of Team Liquid Echo, they needed Sanford to kind of split push, because that's the idea for the Paquito. You don't really just get in front anymore, and that meant that Royal Miracle, this Terizla. My guess is that this will be snatched out, I would say.
Yeah.
So in game number 2, this was banned by FCON themselves. And then the Ling was picked up. It was Roger Valentina as the answer, which I also predicted. But now that Royal Milk has shown this, maybe it will be Roger plus Terizla afterwards.
Yeah, honestly, this has been a lot to digest, but can you actually show us through the telestrator what else have you found throughout the game?
We got Bob here again, so let's look at the play of the second turtle, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the second turtle of the fight, and we're gonna be talking about the box once again. And also, there is a lot of. We always have to start with the minimap. We all have to start with information. So if we could just zoom in, first is there's a lot of information that is already found out by FCON. For example, they know that the Roger is up top, so that's information number one. They know that they can turtle fight, and then eventually Royal Milk will now see that the Paquito, so that is number 2, and then number 3, and then number 4, with now PX7 aiming to put the Nightmare Spawn into that spot. So let's play this out for a bit. Now they spotted the Valentina as well as the Akai, so they know. Then eventually JP will also be seen by the Nightmare Spawn. So information has been gathered. Now it comes the interesting part, which I think is something that FCON really wanted to do in the past 2 games, which is to establish their own box. Again, their circle of influence as we're talking about. So this is practically their box that eventually they will be able to set up. And now Sanford went inside their box. So you'll notice, right? So Sanford went in, and immediately the members of FCON are gonna be grouping up, and then PX7 outplays this. Look at this. He gets hit and then goes to his ultimate. That's beautiful. Now, Sanford is in an awkward spot where he is in the zone of Team Liquid Echo. Now, Team Liquid, they utilize Dax in this spot. You can see here that he is already aiming to go for the steal, and then all of a sudden the box has been complete. Implosion comes in. You have the damage coming out from the Terizla as well as the Kai. Then all of a sudden you can see Sanford. Sanford is not in a spot where he can help his teammates. Let's clear that out. And then and Benny Cutie is in a tight spot as well. So as you can see, Sanford is away from his teammates, right? Always look at the minimap when you're looking at the FCON versus Team Liquid Echo. And then that's basically it. The box has been set up. Sanford gets outplayed once again, and it's the end of the turtle fight for Team Liquid Echo.
Yeah, definitely looks like the positioning in the team fight is going to be very important. But with that being said, we're going to give teams time to prepare. So we're going for a short break, but after this, it's going to be game number 4. Welcome back. This is game number 4 between Team Liquid Echo going up against Falcon Esports, where the score right now is 2-1. 2 for Team Liquid Echo and 1 for Falcon Esports. Welcome back. My name is Lufel. Alongside with me is Nice as well as Wolf. Now this is a good shot for Falcon Esports. If they win again, could be a reverse sweep.
Could be. I was actually wondering if they had it in them. After seeing Game 3, I think they do. It's just, you guys already talked about this as well for Falcon Esports. The biggest thing is getting that winning draft, getting that winning game plan in approach to a team like Team Liquid Echo. And I think the last one, they did exactly that. I love that combination of the Terizla with the Tigreal, but I just don't think they're going to get their hands on that again.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's probably not going to happen here, but they can go into something with the same concept in mind, I feel like, to deal with, because again, it's all about momentum, man. You know, momentum in the beginning of the game, and they had it in the previous game.
Which they were, I would say, looking for in the first 2 games. They had the Roger Harith. I think this is the 3rd time they picked up Harith in the gold lane.
The latest.
Yep, so it's Ling Harith, it's Roger Harith. They haven't found their stride because they couldn't get out of the early stages of the game, which we thought will be the problem for FCON. We did say before the game started, before the series started, that FCON has been struggling in the early stages, while Team Liquid Echo, they're the masters of the early game, so that's what they had to solve. Apparently, it just relied on Royal Milk just being very good at the thrills now, let's say. And the Zask, of course, is a big game changer. I would say that the past choices, yeah, for side of FCON, where we're very passive in a way. Ooh. It's Valentina versus Aurora, but this time it's Zask, which kind of applies a lot of pressure in the mid lane.
And now Falcon, they are going to be the 2nd pick. Team Liquid Echo is going to be the 1st pick. So this is going to be very interesting, where Falcon, I believe they can pick up the Terizla. I just don't believe that they can pick up the Link.
Well, it was banned out, so they definitely cannot pick up the link. Chip is available. TLPH.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
It's going to TL.
you know what's the grade? Okay, so there's a chip, and then this is Harith Terizla all the way.
What about Roger Terizla?
I believe that you don't want to give the Terizla and the chip all together. That's gonna be scary.
No, I mean like Terizla and Roger.
Terizla Roger. Okay.
Oh, but it looks like they do pick up the Harith Roger.
Okay.
Oh wow, this is a predicament. Like, this is just the first 3 picks, but what do you feel?
It's a miss. That's a blunder, I believe.
They should have taken the Terizla.
Yeah, I think so. Because now you reveal too much for FCON. So TLPH are gonna be picking up the Terizla for sure. Maybe Edith along the way. No, they will not pick that up anymore.
What about the Valen?
Valentina, yeah, for sure.
Valen, Edith, Valen, Terizla. I mean,
I think Valen Terizla is the best choice here. Or Moskov Terizla, actually, for TLPH.
I don't know, unless they don't want the Terizla. I don't know. TLPH, what if they just don't pick it up? The Terizla.
I think I'll...
There's the Edith and Valentina.
Okay.
So they're willing to actually give the Terizla over to FCON.
and after this, just ban out the Moskov. Ban out Moskov, maybe even ban out
If you're
Matrix.
FCON,
Yeah.
for
I would say
sure.
pick up the Terizla here, because if not, it's for sure going to get banned out.
Yep, I think that's the right idea here for FCON. Knowing already that this is Edith in the Expelane, you already know your expectations. Maybe the worst case that can happen is it will be a last picked, what, Esmeralda or Thams from the side of FCON. They pick up the Aurora this time. They don't want that banned out.
Okay.
Whew. Okay.
So it looks like it looks like they're actually going to be banning out this tanky junglers. I wonder if they're going to ban out the Julian as well. Yeah.
Should be a Julian ban.
Learn from your mistakes.
Hey, Yuzhong instead.
Yuzhong? I don't know how to feel about this one. Like, I'm
also don't.
going to be honest with you guys.
Yeah. I do understand. It's a threat. Like Sanford's Yuzhong, that is definitely a threat. Great ban on the Tigreal, despite them having the Valentina. Not gonna be picking that up. So with this, you pick up your roamer now if you're FCON. Or maybe your
Ruby?
Yeah, that's a flex still.
Yeah.
There you go. Very nicely done. So you go Julian and Moskov if you're TLPH, right?
Julian Moskov.
Yeah.
Sounds solid.
Yeah.
So if
But
not,
what's the last pick coming
Ooh.
in from FCON?
I think maybe Fredrid could work actually for TLPH in that regard. Like Moskov and Fredrid.
But you're going up against Aurora and Ruby, though.
Yeah, that's very true. But then you control both Harith as well as...
What if it's an Akai again?
Yeah,
I feel like
I hope
they should go for Julian.
I hope it's okay. So, high pick Julian for sure. Maybe the next best thing should be that.
I got it.
Oh.
That's my 1 point.
Okay.
I got it. Thank you for having me.
You know what? this is our KPI. We need to at least call one.
Yeah.
We've all called it, so you know, our KPI is settled. And they're picking up the Minotaur, so again, Natan in the goal lane for TLPH, Harib in the goal lane for Falcon. This is again a very interesting draft. So for the casters, do you guys think this is potentially a 4-4 or Liquid Echoes got it? You know what? We're passing it over to our casters.
Once again, thank you to our analysts. It's me, Gideon, with Leo on the desk. And honestly, I'll be real with you. This is kind of a bit of a curveball coming in from TLPH. I'm surprised that they actually want to go for scaling against a composition that's very much sustainable, but has an insane amount of peel.
All right, they did a two-prong attack here. They stopped all of the active CC and all of the big-ticket team fight-winning ults from Falcon Esports. And they also put, again, the aforementioned scaling hero into the hands of Benny Cutie, which I think sends a message. They want to make sure that, hey, even if this does go a little late, which, by the way, games 2 and 3, games 1 and 3 went very long. Again, past 18 minutes, they want to make sure that Benny Cutie becomes a decisive win.
Well, I mean, with Liquid Echo on the blue side up against Falcon Esports on the red, I think this is really scary, right? Because even for JP, he's going to imagine, he hits level 4, he's going to drop the portal, and not many people are going to take it, right? I think at this point, JP is going to play a very different role of influencing the lanes without having to call the entire team to make the big play.
Yep, I think you got it spot on. It's not all in, but which members matter at the time, and then they can do cleanup, which really, there is very little cleanup. It's not like they're playing an assassin meta. This is a meta, this is a lineup that could have happened like 6 months ago.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that Liquid Echo, one of the few interactions that could actually be very beneficial, let Falcon Esports make that play, right? Bait out these big ults, get chunked out, but just survive. And once you survive, you start recalling. When you're back at base, that's when JP comes in with a big fight to send you straight into enemy lines.
Which is what they were lacking in game number 3, the re-engage, the potential for the post-big time CC re-engage. And here you see Dax, you see Benny. They're on relatively expensive heroes. Like I'd say more the Harith. The Roger, he wants to snowball, but if he's not able to snowball, there's really not much he can do after he gets the farm, after he gets these objectives, which, by the way, I think, again, another point goes to Liquid Echo. I think they have very good objective control.
Yeah, I do think that, man, actually, I'm going to take that back. I think that Falcon Esports probably has it a little bit better, right? And they can technically hold Liquid Echo hostage around these areas thinking, hey, are we going to fight now? Are we going to, like, drop those big ults? For the first one, I think they should back off here. There's no reason to get involved just yet, especially since First Blood hasn't been achieved. Oh,
here we go. The CC, Carl Deasy, gets his heavy spin and retribution on point. A freeze by PX7. Kid X in trouble, looking for the burst. JP coming in, the shortcut, who's coming through everybody. But too quickly, Falcon Esports has dispersed. Luckily, Benny Cutie can just re-exit.
Nicely done. Honestly, nicely done from both sides, right? I was really worried that Kid X might end up dying there, and I think that would have been a good gold surge for Liquid Echo. But for the most part, in that trade, Liquid Echo come up on top when it comes down to resources, battle spells as well. Majority of them are still up, and at the end of the day, they still got the turtle.
That's right. It's clean as compared to, you know, some of their engages in even game 1 and 3, right? Some of them came expensive. Here, they're playing as clean as possible.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting the Echo Express this time round, you know? The Liquid Express is going to have to take a step back. There's a lot of things that need to go right for them if they want to initiate cleanly.
Yep, the Liquid Stampede only really happens when it's a clear path. You can't go through speed bumps. There can't be no distractions. So they have to set up a solid early to mid so that eventually Benny Cutie becomes that decisive force in the late game.
Well, speaking of decisive forces, PX7 has been playing a really strong game, right? Let's not forget that naturally, as he scales up later and later and later, the more magic damage that he actually builds up really works well with him, right? Because the CC will be extended even longer per stat. So I think that Falcon Esports, they have a decent later stage of the game, but it really comes down to how many people can they catch in the giant fly swatting composition during the team fight.
Yeah, which they have 3 of. Again, you mentioned PX7, that's one. Another would be Royal Milk, who seems to be a I'm offended specialist. So very fit.
He's very PC.
Yeah, he fits in 2024 on the internet. And then you have Kid X, right? Who we now know is amazing on the Tigreal, but he also now has a little bit of re-engage with the Minotaur, the Minoan Fury, and the Motivation Roar. So how about round 2 here in the Turtle? First objective was scored by Liquid Echo. Let's see if Falcon Esports now, with all of their ults online, if they can try and score this one.
It's not going to be as easy, right? I think, especially, just keep your eyes on like both Royal Milk and Kid X. They're looking for angles here.
Here we go. The shortcut coming in from a JP. Sanford walks through. Big Earth Shatter there. And then the big jump as well. Double Minoan Fury from both sides. Sanji draws first blood. We're having ground beef for lunch, folks. And now Benny, Cyclone Eye through, but the damage has been done. 3 for 9 plus the turtle. Thank you very much.
What? Let's look at the replay one more time. How did this go so badly for them, right? A majority of the members got absolutely blasted by JP's giant stun because they all corralled around him and weren't able to burst him down in time. And not to mention that even for PX7, he was completely out of that fight, but got some relevant CC, and they still lost. I think that they needed to initiate just a wee bit earlier, specifically Kid X. I think that Royal Milk could have taken his time a little bit more, especially since the battle spells weren't up in time. I think that Falcon Esports really need to, if they are going to play this war of attrition, start considering the bigger factors like battle spells and, most importantly, alt timings.
Yeah, I would assume there was a little anime moment between Sanji and Kid X where, okay, I see you ramp up with the Minoan Fury the first wave, and then Sanji just, in the nanosecond after, I also do it, which I think turned the tide of that fight. If there was no response from Sanji, if there was no Minoan Fury after the Minoan Fury, that would have been a Falcon Esports fight, definitely.
Absolutely, and that's something that they need to really consider, right? Have that foresight. This is, okay, you made the first mistake, that's totally fine. 3 kills go over to Liquid Echo. It's not the end of the world. And I think most importantly, we have to look at Benny. He's already like gone with a quick lane swap down to the bottom side of the map just to make sure that Kid X and even Royal Milk can get involved for the upcoming turtle happening in 22 seconds.
All this while, Liquid Echo asserting dominance in mid. Falcon Esports reciprocating as well, hunkering down with 3. And now the river flows. Faster rotations coming in, and who's going to ride the wave? Sanford and Kid X. Oh yeah, they're all going to try to get this last turtle here. Solid setup though, in the top lane. Liquid Echo just got a passive push.
Do they really want to do this? I feel like not yet. I feel like Dax is already... Oh,
too late. The fight has started. Here we go. I'm offended by Royal Milk displacing them all. Dax in trouble. Sanji gets the kill. Pushing back Royal Milk, Kid X, and PX7. And that's all she wrote. Falcon Esports dispersed. You get nothing, good sir. Oh,
Wait.
JP, not going to spot Benny. Not this time.
Okay, not this time. He doesn't cancel it out. At least there's still some hope here. Rather interesting decision coming in from Falcon Esports, right? Like, they know for a fact. They're risking it for the biscuit, thinking that it might be a 4v4 and Benny QT ain't going to be there. But they didn't lane swap. They didn't see any rotation. They had no information. This was just pure game sense, hoping and praying that it's going to be enough. And now, because of that, Carl is significantly ahead of the curve in terms of EXP, and Dax is falling further and further behind. He's stuck on a win talker right now.
That's why Falcon Esports had all the onus in the world to be the aggressive team. Oh, Sanji, anime-like reflexes, dodging that freeze, keeping himself alive, still denying Falcon Esports anything on the map.
Literally just told PX7, not today, kid. Not today.
Nope.
It could go even... Oh.
Here we go, JP from from the other side, popping the shortcut. Who's coming through? Frigid Ice, no one home. The Zaman Force and the double Minoan Fury one more time. And there's a KO on the Kid X. Royal Milk and Benny follow through as well. Still nothing on the board for the Burmese. Benny Cutie gets a double on the way out.
And that's going to accelerate him way further ahead. Let's look at the replay one more time because this was a great angle, right? Once that shortcut comes in, the counter engage from Kid X and they realize they don't have enough damage. Benny can only hit one target at a time and Dax is a little too far behind to actually supplement it. Now look, Carl Teasy getting disrespectful because he knows how strong he is. And the one shot, almost there, almost.
Oh, the time traveler coming in from odd angles, like Tenet up in this.
Oh man, it feels like they've done this before, and now they're just playing this in reverse, in real time finally. As the Lord does spawn, I think the only hope that Falcon Esports has is whether or not they can actually catch Benny QT off, and that's under a couple of conditions. One, force him to use that Purify, and somehow Royal Milk pulls him all the way back with a flicker.
Oh wow, all this while you were laying down the options, Benny QT just blitzes the Lord.
He just does it by himself.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, Gideon, you go ahead, lay down the win cons. I'm just going to take the massive objective. What is the gold lead now? Almost 10K, sir.
Exactly.
Almost 10K.
Yeah, that's why I respect Benny QT. At least he gives me the time to actually talk about it. But now that they have the Lord, hopefully they can get an inhibitor. And honestly, it's starting to look like a checkmate angle.
Yep. Falcon Esports, good news and bad news. Good news is, underneath these turrets, they have all the more better punishing power. Maybe the double Minoan Fury situation might not be as bad. But bad news is, they're down on firepower. We're going to go back to the problem. Again, chicken and the egg. You get the CC, where's the damage? You don't get the damage in, how do you plant the CC? So now look at this, a trio lane push. Mid's got a wave, top's got a wave, Lord is down bottom, and Liquid Echo have masterfully orchestrated the push.
I think that it's really important for them that Liquid Echo take as many... Oh, Royal Milk's in trouble.
Oh, dodges the heavy spin though, so he will live, but I couldn't say the same for this tier 2 in mid.
But these inhibitors, right, that's the most important part. If Liquid Echo can at least take one of them, that's already a huge win as the second waves is starting to...
Benny! Oh! I mean, I'm saying this true for both Bennies, and now the fight continues. The Zaman Force, the Minoan Fury, they still live. The pull from Royal Milk, Benny Cutie punishes him. 3 defenders left in Falcon Esports base as a wave stands in mid. The flicker onward, Earth Shatter, the full combo. Sanford still standing. Still no one falls. Liquid Echo inside Falcon Esports' base.
They need a wave somewhere if they want to end the game, but Death Timers, Benny's going to be back in time, and same goes for Royal Milk. Falcon Esports has another opportunity to fight back, but it's looking extremely grim.
Here we go, the shortcut coming in. Kid X might get bursted down. Benny Cutie gets the kill served up to him. He says, thanks, 40, thanks. And now the base up next. Carl Teasy plants the heavy spin. The base is going to fall. So will the Burmese. Falcon Esports takes the bow. Liquid Echo wins 3-1.
Oh my goodness, what a series here. TLPA just showing why they are above the rest, why they cream of the crop. And you can even see that even Kid X, all he could do was just applause. What a performance coming in from TLPH.
GG, well played to Falcon Esports. The Burmese, they have such a fighting spirit, but against the defending champions of MPLPH, they could not stop the Liquid Stampede.
They couldn't fly above the mountains here. They couldn't see the horizon just yet.
Not on this range.
Not on this range, unfortunately. But man, they do, as you mentioned, have incredible heart. Despite having a bad performance in game number 1, they continue to fight through it and bounce back one time, but it just wasn't enough.
I can imagine all of the Burmese watching. They would still be very proud of Falcon Esports. This does trump the performance from last year's Mid-Season Cup.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It is a better performance. It is a better showing as well. And yeah, there is no disappointment here from this team. They're just going to be walking off feeling good. Hey, they deserve this win.
We saw a few swerves here in this series. We went 4 games, but still the status quo remains. Liquid Echo still on top, and they will be moving forward through the brackets.
And I think for everybody else, this is just a good showing of what the meta has to offer right now and how important these best of 5s are. You cannot lose steam at the very first game. If you are a momentum-based team, it's all about leaving that impression.
You know what I do like about the series?
What?
We got a little bit of a rewind. We saw what works from the previous meta and maybe even metas from far back. that can make a comeback, that can definitely make a difference in the developing meta that we have now.
Well, with that being said, we're going to be throwing it over to an interview. Let's hear it.
Here we are with the coach of Liquid Echo, Coach Tic Tac. Congratulations. You know, you did amazing game 1 and 2, and a lot of people thought it was going to be a sweep, but game number 3, something happened. Can you explain to us, was it the Zask?
Ayun po, medyo nagulat kami doon sa Zas Peak, so medyo narattle kami doon.
So they were surprised and they were rattled with that pick, but you were able to bounce back, and that's what's really important.
Yeah, exactly. And specifically when we're talking about going from like best of 2s in the group stage to best of 5, there's definitely going to be some speed bumps, I want to say, along the way. But first of all, you made it to the knockout stage after the first best of 5, and now you are here headed to the semifinals. How do you feel after your team's performance? And I want to say continuing your journey and continuing to the second stage of the tournament here.
Ayun, sobrang saya po, nakapasok kami sa semifinals. So, yun, abangan namin yung may manalo sa AP Brand.
He's really happy that they're able to make it to the semifinals. So they're looking out to the possible matchup with AP Brand.
And that is going to be quite an exciting match. But before we head on over to the studio, we told you guys that we have a spicy twist coming up with this knockout stage and with this best of 5 Mara. And I mean, I want to say exciting for them, but it's going to be a special moment, I want to say, here on the stage.
Because you've won, now we have the opposing team. They will give you their key. And this symbolizes your success here at MSC 2024 for the Esports World Cup. They are now handing over the key. Thank you so much. Thank you. Show everybody your key. And how does it feel to be holding this right now from your opponent given to you?
Ayun, sobrang saya po, hawak po namin yung key nila. So, yun.
He's really happy that they're holding the key.
And here's the thing, not only do you get to hold the key, but I believe you also get the opportunity to destroy the key, which is, I want to say, like, this is one of the things that makes this tournament, this Esports World Cup, this MSC quite special. So tell me your feeling about that as well, getting to use the machine to destroy the key.
Ayun, sobrang nakaka-excite kasi first time mangyayaring ganun eh. Opo.
He says he's really excited because this will be the first time that they'll be able to do it. Coach Tic Tac, congratulations, and we'll see you in the semifinal round. Lots of great happenings here at the Esports World Cup, but for sure, you want us to break that down for you, so we'll go back to our panel.
Let me just say, it's just handing over a key, but I gotta say, that feels brutal. Speaking of brutal, let's look at the highlights.
It's a nice key, by the way. It's a cool concept of a key, but looking at the highlights, it's still that same idea here, guys. It's that momentum-building lineup that we saw time and time again. And it's good to hear also from Coach Tic Tac. You know, a lot of the questions about Game 3, the Zask threw them off. And maybe that's something that teams in the future that will be facing against them could use.
You guys see the Benny Cutie damage, though?
Oh, yeah.
You guys look at the damage, though.
Okay.
Damage. Big damn.
I before you threw it to the casters, I had my reservations because this is again the Harry Potter lineup, which you know, focuses mainly on a lot of magic damage. But there's one thing that we can patent now, which is the Benny Cutie bomb on this Nathan, which he does so well. It's a skill 1 and 2 combo with the obviously the entropy should be activated already. If you have 3 items and then you look for a target, be it a tanky hero or a squishy one, because of the nature of the damage of Nathan, you push back your opponent, make sure that the passive of the plates going back when you get attacked. It's like maximum ratio. It's like it takes less time to travel in a way, so that you deal the most damage in that small amount of fraction of a second. Exactly, with the pushback as well. It's the Benny Cutie bomb on the Nathan.
This is 11-0, and I gotta say, Wolf, if your lineup only has magic damage, but when you do damage though, I feel like it doesn't matter.
Look at the gold per minute.
Oh my God!
1005. Yeah, there was a time that he was double laning, and that's the benefit of having the Nathan, because you can just get from one spot to the other, utilizing your entropy. Of course, he kind of feels like it's a waste because you utilize it for farm, but that's the early game, so you don't need to get that farm as much. And then, of course, the chip makes it so that he knows where he needs to be going. The chip coming in from JP,
Yep.
in this case, is a scout, basically.
Yeah. At this point, the chip is 100% win rate. I believe
Yeah.
it's 100% pick and ban and 100% win rate. The only one that's lost right now is Louis, but we're looking at the highlights here. And again, just to remind you guys, it's 11-0. Falcon could not capitalize on any mistakes, if any, TLPH did.
It was 11-0, and it was about 11-minute-ish games, or 11-minute game, and
around 11 minutes.
Yeah, and there was this type of game is where the opposing team doesn't have any room to breathe at all because they're punished everywhere, and even like Wolf mentioned, your tanky heroes are being just deleted by the Nathan.
Your tanky heroes feels like a Diggy.
Yes,
That's how squishy it was.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised at how quick it can be. Maybe BennyQt practiced that so much. Maybe for all the viewers out there who's trying to practice Nathan, maybe try to practice that. Just do that combo all the time, so that feels very instant for you. Because literally, that's what I felt with how BennyQt plays it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say, this is what I did, and I didn't notice what happened after that. I blinked, it's like, wait, it's done?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I blinked pretty slowly because it's like, but still, that was fast.
if you can put that in slow-mo, that's basically how it was. When
Yeah.
we saw it, though, we were also just like, the health bars were just gone
Yeah.
in an instant.
And by the way, imagine this in a professional setting when you're dragging your map all the time, right? When you're a setup tank, for example, if you're from the XP, if you're a marksman, you're like scouting the minimap, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be gone, right? So drag your map and you're gonna die. That's how quickly it could be.
At that point, I can imagine the reaction is like, okay, the slime man is like,
Huh?
do you guys know what happened? Like, is my game bugged? Why, how did I die? Right? That's how fast it was. Speaking of which, we gotta look at our Sodi MVP. And guess what? It's BennyQt. But again, that damage though.
That damage.
Yep.
No.
Damage. We can see it.
Look at, I mean, if you can see it.
Yeah, good
One,
luck
two.
trying to see it. Look at him.
Okay,
look at
he
his
goes
position.
in.
I think we did a slow-mo at this point. Look at that.
It's done.
One combo, Benny. BNI, I mean.
BennyQt.
BennyQt. One hit
let's do
deleted
Benny's here.
Benny.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, there it is.
The bomb.
Oh.
Again.
Like,
The Nathan bomb.
How do you outplay that? How do you outplay
That damage.
when you just try to go up front and start a basic attack, and then you take like what, 3 basic attacks?
Well, multiply that by 2 because of the passive. So
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean.
yes, I knew exactly what you mean. That's hard to deal with. The answer is definitely tank up, maybe reach the late game. Don't let him like snowball like this.
I was gonna say this is a huge snowball. That's why I think that plays a part of it.
Maybe
Yes, 100%.
just-
Yes.
Maybe just, you know, like time travelers technically are cheating.
How do you stop a time traveler?
How do you stop a time traveler? 8 KDA, 1,005 goal per minute, 72% kill participation. How do you stop a time traveler? Stop. I
Stop
mean,
time.
take off your watch. I think that doesn't work.
I don't think that works.
I'm gonna try. I'm taking off my watch.
You don't have a time traveler to stop right now, though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they go for the mystery shop or the bargain hunter. That's why he got the items fast. But again, he was double. Hey, a time traveler again.
I mean, it's Sanji, but still, it's like, okay. So the first question, Sanji, are you a time traveler?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
well,
Well,
that explains it.
Now our interview is getting much more interesting. So first of all, big congratulations for the win going up against Falcon. Now I do have to say, you were the one that has to go up against the Zas. Was it difficult? Like, because do you guys fight against the Zas often?
No. I think it is difficult because first time I match in lane SAS.
Yeah.
Like
First time for like competition, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure if he finds a Zas in ranked games,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a problem.
Yeah. I have a question actually. How does it feel to play 4 games of Valentine?
Why were we thinking
Yeah, we
the
were thinking
same
the same, right?
question?
So how does it feel? And then winning in the other afterwards. Sure,
Hey, you
go
can,
ahead.
you can speak in Tagalog, of course.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah, Lefel will translate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, sobrang saya kasi comfort ko siya eh.
Yeah, I feel like it's just my comfort, so it's okay.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
Good. I translate for a living.
Yeah. And how do you how did you master some of the other heroes? Because we're seeing with the Valentina, you play Roger, you play Ruby, you play Tigreal.
Yeah.
So you master all these heroes, right? So any tips that you can give to all the viewers out there if they want to play the Valentina?
Maglaro lang sila ng iba't ibang hero sa RG tapos yung mga skill pag-aralan nila ganun.
Yeah, it says it's not that hard. I don't understand why you guys are having a difficult time.
A little bit off. But yeah, basically just practice it in RG if you want to for all the people that want to play the Valentina, and then really just learn the abilities of the other heroes, right?
Yeah.
So, Sanji, do you like Gord? Do you like
You
Gord?
can lie. You can lie. It's okay to lie in interviews.
Gusumosi Gord?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you
All
like
right.
Gord.
Enough.
There you go. Now for all of the clippers, you guys can clip and say Sanji loves the gourd. Don't say like, say love.
Loves.
By the way, now that you guys have won against Falcon, do you guys feel this is a good momentum potentially going up against Falcon CP Brand? Or do you think that Falcon CP Brand will not be able to win their match?
Iniisip namin na kahit sinong makalaban namin doon, bigay lang namin yung best namin.
It says that whoever they face, they will just gonna give their best, and hopefully it's up against Malaysia.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He mentioned Malaysia
Malaysia.
specifically.
Honestly, when you're translating, it's okay to lie. You don't have to give out all the details. But with that being said, we got to look at our STC prediction update to see what you guys thought was going to win. And 92% said Team Liquid Echo was going to win. 8% says Falcon Esports is going to win. How does it feel when everyone trusts you guys this much?
No.
You can lie.
Sobrang saya po kasi nung nakarang MSC kami yung down sa voting na ganyan.
So he was very happy because last MSC, they were the recipients of the opposite end where the votes were low.
Against them, yeah.
What, really?
Maybe, yeah.
I mean,
he said it.
He said it. So if he said it, then of course
I just translated, bro.
So here's the thing, Sanji. Even though just now it was actually Coach Tic Tac that received the key, but as the winning team, how does it feel when the losing team gives you guys the key, and then you guys are gonna physically take the key, and then after this you're gonna see it getting crushed? Like as a player, how do you feel?
Wala po.
Nothing?
Feels nothing.
Even I could have tried.
feels-
Okay, let me translate for him. You know, he said that as a player, I do not care what happens because in this game, it's the nature of competition. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. When you lose, you know the consequences, and the consequences are you're gonna lose the key. So it's not my fault that you lost. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna crush it. That's what he said. Is that accurate, Sanji? Yeah. He said yeah. I mean, the mic wasn't up to his face, but he said yeah. Can you guys confirm?
Yeah,
Said
it sounds about right.
Yeah means usually yes
Yeah.
in Filipino.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it like yeah, po?
Yeah,
Because po is just to be a little bit polite. You know, I'm just letting you guys know in case you guys don't know. I've been to the Philippines. They say po when they want to be polite.
Yep.
I have a question. I have a question.
Thank you, nice.
Yeah, I'll set off there. Sanji, you guys know if let's say you're champions of MSC because you're one step closer.
Yeah.
You get to pick 3 teams, keys, correct? Correct
Yeah,
me if I'm
that's
wrong.
right, that's
3.
right.
You get to pick 3 keys. Have you guys spoken about which keys you guys want, or what teams would you want? What 3 keys would you want in your trophy?
Sa akin po yung tatlo namin tinalo.
Okay.
Oh, whoever that
champion.
is. Yeah.
So the 3 teams that they beat.
No, he said like Homeboys SRG and whoever is the other one. They said that.
I love that you've picked up the translation skills.
Yeah.
Because even I was like, oh, I thought I heard Homeboys, SRG, and
Yeah,
etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, etc. But with that being said, I do want to say thank you very much, Sanji. Again,
you,
congratulations to your match. Look at the camera, and then is there anything that you want to say to the fans?
Shoutout sa mga fans namin dito sa Riyadh tsaka dyan sa Pinas. Supportan nyo lang kami lagi. Tsaka shoutout na din po sa family ko tsaka sa girlfriend ko po.
Do you guys want me to translate one?
Last one. You can translate it.
Yeah, I said thank you to everyone for watching, for supporting us. Thank you to our family and friends at home that supports us. Anyways,
And the
capture
girlfriend.
moments.
The girlfriend.
What? And the girlfriend, of course. Sorry, I missed out. Thank you, girlfriend. His girlfriend, not mine. I'm married, so I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Capture moments like a pro with the 6-axis hybrid gimbal stabilizer equipped camera. Thank you very much, Asus ROG, for sponsoring. You guys are great. Speaking of great, Sanji's great. Sorry I missed out your girlfriend, but you know what? Next time for sure, gonna shout her out. But with that being said, we gotta say, for you guys at home, your opinion matters. So make sure you guys scan the QR code for the broadcast feedback survey and let us know your thoughts. What do you guys think of us so far? The knockout stage is, of course, still live. But again, your opinions matter because we're gonna eventually go to the grand finals. With that being said, up next is gonna be the matchup for Selangor Red Giants going up against Fireflux Esports. That's our Jamil Motorsport match of the day. Sanji, what do you feel about that matchup? Do you think Selangor Red Giants can win, or is it going to be Fireflux?
I think 3-2, Fireflux.
Wow! Do you want to translate that? I didn't
He
understand.
said homeboys will they will homeboys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know what? I believe you. I feel like Homeboys has got it as well. Either ways, this is going to be indeed an amazing matchup. If it goes all 5 games, that's, you know what? Am I ready for all 5 games? Because here's the thing, no one has taken a game off of Selangor Red Giants.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. It's been over 100 days.
100 days?
Over 100 days.
A series, right?
For a series.
Yeah, for the series.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we don't count public holidays. Honestly,
He's good at math. Actually.
Yeah, he's pretty
honestly,
good.
we don't even count private holidays.
Yeah. I don't know what's the difference between a public and a private.
Private holiday.
A private holiday is like your birthday. It's like it's your own thing, but people don't go for.
You can't ask off for work for it's your birthday.
Imagine though, it's like, excuse me, but I need a vacation. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
You know, maybe honestly that sounds like a 2025 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But either ways, we do have to say we got to look at our upcoming match. Dr. Sulaiman Al Habib upcoming match is going to be Selangor Red Giants going up against Fireflux Esports. You guys heard it from Sanji. Might be a 3-2. With that being said, we're going for a break. After this, it's going to be an intense match. We'll see you guys then. Welcome back. You're still watching the Mid-Season Cup 2024 at Esports World Cup. My name is Phil. Alongside with me is Naisu as well as Wolf. And you guys are about to witness the Jamil Motorsport match of the day. It's going to be Selangor Red Giants going up against Fireflux. Very quick, gentlemen. We've heard from Sanji that he's actually favoring Fireflux. What do you guys think?
I'm favoring Selangor Giants. I think this will be a 3-2 duel. I do agree with that. Yeah, I think so. And I'm saying this not because SRG is weak or because Fireflux is strong. It's I think because of the playstyle of Fireflux, where they can force out these long fights. Because SRG, they want to play very fast, very aggressively.
Yeah.
Fireflux want to take their time. They want to group up together as 5. It's going to be an interesting clash of styles.
It's going to be a battle for legacy. Because I feel like for Fireflux, in terms of protecting, they got to protect their legacy because Fireflux is basically a home state when we talk about international tournaments. SRG, technically, they're the one emerging because it's only been like, what, the second year for them?
Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, SRG, I think a lot of people that have been necessarily haven't been following the entire journey, but they got word, man, they're undefeated, coming into the MSC 2024. Yeah, and so people want to know, is how long is it going to go for? Because the biggest question was, how will they perform on the international stage? I think it's already proven a point. Now, can they continue the 100-day streak, I would say?
Yeah, and hopefully that will be after MSC, right?
Yeah, hopefully if they're going to lose, might as well just wait for the next MPL season. Right now, we have a special graphic for you guys here because we're going to look at both these teams. We're talking about the mid lane duel. It's going to be Rosa going up against my boy Stormy here.
Very interesting because there's a lot of start changes. I think the Valentine as well as the Louis is just being part of the shared hero pool is natural because these are meta heroes anyways. But if you're looking at their unique hero pool, it's totally different, right? The playstyle. Xavier and Aurora wants to sit back. That's for Stormy. But then if you're looking at Rosa, that's going to be Farsa as well as Faramis, both with mobility tools so that they can get into the fight. But the KDA favors Rosa instead of Stormy. That's
honestly, I want to look at the damage per minute. Stormy almost doing 3,000, but Rosa doing over 4,000 damage per minute. That shows that Rosa is the main carry for the team. I would say Stormy is more of an enabler.
Yeah, and whether they get, you saw the shared hero pool tool, I think Valentina is still going to be a big contention for both of them. I'd love to see them get their unique hero pool for this matchup. Again, it's a best of 5, so we can see those adjustments happen here. But yeah, I think it's impressive to see what Rosa's capable of on these key hero pickups and pump out the damage early on.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is going to be an intense match. A battle for legacy. Selangor Red Giants going up against Fireflux. Fireflux for sure wants to break the win streak of Selangor Red Giants. With that being said, this is going to be an amazing match, and we're going to throw it over to the stage for Mara Aquino as well as Dawood Sandstorm to introduce both teams.
The vibes here have been immaculate at the Amazon Arena as we continue with our second series of the day, and we continue our journey through the knockout stage.
It's been nerve-wracking, both for the fans and the teams, as only one will get to move on to the next round. And a lot of people have been commenting online, showing support for their favorite team.
That's right, because starting with our second series, the Beast from the East is going to be going up against the Best of the West in our second Best of 5 series for this knockout stage. And we are about to continue our journey.
Much like the stakes earlier, this battle for legacy is do or die. Win, and you get to continue the journey to see the world. Lose, and watch your key get crushed.
And now the question remains, who will take that one step closer to being crowned the champions of MSC 2024 here at the Esports World Cup? Let's find out as we welcome our next two teams.
Introducing the Red Hot Giants from Malaysia. Their strength allowed them to go over 100 days without a single match loss. Let's welcome Selangor Red Giants. It's Cram, Sakai, Stormy, Yums, and Innocent. They're looking to continue their undefeated run. Their versatile and systematic ways under the guidance of Coach Arcadia makes them extremely difficult to take down.
And their opponents on the opposing side, the bastion of Turkey themselves. Their first step may not have been the best step to take on this stage, but now they are on the road to redeem themselves as their fire only burned brighter at the MSC. Welcome to the stage, Fireflux Esports! The Bastion of Turkey, starring Alien, Tienzi, Rosa, Apex 47, and Sunshine. Every single one of these people is geared up to establish their legacy against the undefeated Giants.
It'll be the battle between the best from the West against the beast from the East. Only one will get to keep their key in the end.
And the others will get destroyed. So boys, get yourselves ready. Lock eyes with your opponents because it is time to take your seats and do battle.
You may now take your seat. Of course, they're going to be doing their ping test with Asus ROG, powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 mobile platform.
That's right, it is the official sponsor, Asus ROG, the official gaming phone of MSC 2024. And Mara, I think it's time for us to get started.
This is the second best of 5 series of today. One shot, no second chances. Time to give it your all. And it's also time to go to our panel. Panel, time to shine.
Thank you very much to both Maracino as well as the Woods Sandstorm. Now, I gotta say, this is gonna be an intense matchup, but before we even talk about that, I wanna talk about the dawn of a new landscape here, because this MSC is really shaping up the landscape of competitiveness in the MLBB scene. We're looking at a dawn of a new landscape here. We're looking at the Kings, we're looking at the Contenders, as well as the Slayers and the Protectors.
Oh, just looking at this kind of breakdown too, I'm still kind of wondering, the Protectors, like, you know, protecting, I guess, the legacy is what they're after, and solidifying their footing here. But for, you know, all of this, the Slayers even, I think a lot of people were surprised with what's happened with See You Soon and what they've accomplished.
True Slayers, man, true Slayers.
That's very true. And if we're just going to be looking at back at the past few years and few seasons of international events, I think it's, you can even count both SRG as well as NIP Flash as you know, it's like they're contenders to the throne in a way that they're also emerging regions.
Yeah.
And I think you share this sentiment. Even when we've known that Malaysia has been here for quite a long time, both Fireflux and SRG, they have something to prove. This is the furthest, I would say, that Fireflux will be if they eventually win. That's also very true for SRG. If the furthest that they have gone through after a very long time. So I think it's safe to say that they're both emerging regions as of now.
I mean, here's the thing. For teams to perform, you need a lot of support. And speaking of which, it does look like Eterna has a special interview, I believe, with the family of Stormy. So let's check the interview out.
Hey guys, it's Eterna here, and I'm with Stormy's family. So let's get them to quickly introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Haris. I'm Stormy's brother. We are from Malaysia.
And you?
Aryan, and I'm Stormy's cousin.
All right, so I've been hearing that you guys flew all the way from Malaysia and Stormy didn't know. Yeah. What made you come here, all the way here?
Well, it's basically a surprise plan. It was a last minute plan, to be honest. And he was not expecting us to come as well. And his face says it all. You guys can check it out.
So we just came here to support him, you know. We all know that we support one another and stuff, and it's good to see him on the world stage right now. And I'm happy, and we're all happy to see him achieve his dreams, you know? Yeah.
Yep. He's right here, right now. He's in the world stage. That's it, baby. Let's go.
That's super sweet. Do you guys have any messages to him? Because earlier on, I think you kind of exchanged like a few words, but not a lot was said.
Yep.
But if he's watching right now, what would be your message?
Do your best. Don't crack under pressure. Just be yourself. Enjoy the game. Let's go. Let's bring it home this time. Let's bring MSC home. Yeah. That's it.
Do you have a message?
Don't choke.
Don't choke.
Don't choke.
You got it, guys. You got it.
All right, thank you so much, guys, and hope you guys enjoy the show. And of course, good luck to Stormy and of course the Selangor Red Giants. Sending back to the studio.
Big shout outs to Harif and Iron. Like, Harif has been there every single time.
Really?
Whenever, yeah, he's there every single time. The only thing is, I feel like this time Stormy's mother is not able to come here. Usually she's there for every single match. So, again, very sweet. And Harif gave a very special, I would say, advice that no one has ever given to me. Be yourself.
Be yourself.
No, to be fair, I get it. Me being myself, bad idea. But speaking of that, we got to talk about the STC prediction here because you guys, what do you guys think? Is it going to be Selangor Red Giants or is it going to be Fireflux Esports? Make sure you guys head on over to stcplay.gg right now and give your predictions. So what are we looking at here? In case we want to help the audience at home.
You can go first.
Okay, I'm gonna go first. And I think I have been very vocal about it all throughout MSC and even before MSC SRG. I think specifically against Fireflux, although Fireflux will push it to 5 games, because I also feel that Fireflux have found a different footing in the meta game right now. I think that they are legitimate contenders to the crown or the trophy. I believe that SRG have established their macro so well and their chemistry that they can take this, even if it goes game 5.
I'll keep it simple. I'm going to say 3-1 SRG. I've been vocal about it too on my media, and I've been rooting them on. I can't wait to see how this unfolds.
I've learned that I'm not casting, so the curse doesn't apply. So I gotta give it to SRG. It's my boy Stormy is there, and again, his family is here. And I like that Iron said, don't choke. It's easy.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yeah. You're just playing on the world stage. Like, what's the big deal? Don't choke.
We haven't really talked about the Stormy versus Rosa matchup. I think that's very exciting. Stormy's your boy, but Rosa, you definitely impressed during M4.
Yep.
Remember when he was playing the Farsa actually,
And the Lilia as well.
And the Lilia. When I remember saying that he is at the same level, if not better than Haji during that time, which was, the peak of the performance of Haji as a position 4 player. Right now, he's playing almost the same. And now that Farsa is back in the metagame, we also have the Faramis. There's a lot of choices for Rosa. They're playing this Turkish Delight
I knew you
kind
were
of
going to say it.
style.
Yeah.
They're still
Turkish
playing it. They're still playing it. So this makes me very excited about the performance of Fireflux. So that is why I feel that this is probably the series that will go 5 games.
5 games? I think it could. I did say 3-1, but I think if there's a possibility, I would say, of 5
Expect the unexpected.
Yes.
Right?
That's it.
It could go 6 games.
That's
It's something
a little out
you
of
won't.
bounds.
It's something you won't expect, but who knows?
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have like an overtime, There's no...
I think,
Trust me.
yeah.
I've imagined every single bad scenario that could happen. Just not gonna say it. I'm just saying, I've been working for a while. I've seen things.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have to see this game.
Yeah.
We do.
I feel like for this one, it's good that we shout out the 2 mid laners because again, it's going to be very challenging. Because the thing about Selangor Red Giants, the way that they actually been winning the fights is that Innocent as well as Cram, they're amazing side laners. But the fact that they transition from early to mid, it's all about that mid trio. And I believe even in interviews where it's either Innocent or Cram, they say like, the reason why we're strong right now is just because the chemistry between the mid trio makes it so that you actually transition to where the side lanes are starting to impact the game a little bit more.
I like that you pointed that out because during the roundtable with them, I actually had a chance to ask Stormy what makes them so strong. Why have they gone 100 days, undefeated and everything else? And Stormy's answer was, it's just everybody involved. Of course, Coach Arcadia as well, but the main point
Shout outs to Becky as well, this is the coach,
Yep. They just, all together, this lineup has locked in their roles. They know their timings on everything, and I think that's a big point too. Like you mentioned, the side lanes more than ever coming together also in the course of the game, especially now that we're seeing these average game times be, I don't know, sub 20 minutes for the most part, right? Sub
Definitely
18
sub 20,
even. A team like SRG that can utilize their aggressive play style, but at the same time can go the long game if they have to. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, do recall that Stormy said on stage that this chemistry and whatever that they have built was actually due to their head coach, Coach Arcadia. He made a special shout out. And let me just raise one from my boy, Coach Arcadia, because I believe that after his departure from Echo, before, that was pre-M4 when he actually was part of RQ, lots of criticism from the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Never really recovered from that. Everybody was just talking badly about Coach Arcadia. And now that people are starting to see SRG, then SRG themselves attributing their success to Coach Arcadia, that says a lot. And I think that we should not sleep on Coach Arcadia.
Let me just add on to that a little bit, because I've been able to talk with the team, and the biggest thing that he appreciates is that the owners, they trust him. Like, even bringing in Innocent and Cram, a lot of questions came in because other people, you know, went for the trials. Like, why aren't you taking this guy? It's like, just trust me, I want Innocent and Cram.
Yep.
And then the management is like, you know what? We trust you, and here they are today.
They are.
And now we're looking at the pick and bans here. Slangway Giant is going to be first pick. Fireflux is going to be second pick here. Looks like Fermis is going to be the very first ban for Slangway Giants.
Ooh. You know what I am excited about? This will be a slow draft compared to the previous game.
Yeah.
This previous game, it was a blitz draft between two teams. They're just getting everything. SRG, Coach Arcadia, known for really taking his time, thinking about the picks. And I think that's also true for Fireflux. They're not going to be rushing this at all. So that's the chip. Okay, so it will be very slow. Maybe Louis is going to be the ban for Fireflux eventually. Angela for SRG this time.
Okay, they're already targeting down on some of these unique heroes that we talked about already, especially in terms for Fireflux Esports here. And I think also when you kind of look at both these teams across from each other, they're very distinctively different in terms of playstyle. And that's, you know, oftentimes so far throughout the MSC 2024, we've seen like a lot of teams just kind of adjust to the style of build momentum as quick as we can and just like try to duke it out from there. And I think for Fireflux Esports, they still kind of tend to have a little more time where they want to build up. You know, and I think for SRG, like I said, they're probably going to be more of that lineup where let's just go in, build the momentum going, get the ball rolling, and end it early. So this is going to be interesting to see how those two play styles really clash here. And Louis and Chip being banned out both from Fireflux Esports, you know, they're already kind of checking those boxes.
Okay, so SRG might ban the Ling, or oh no, they're not. This guy plays it so well. So
he plays it very well. Like I just want to mention here that Slangway Giants, it looks like they want to prolong team fight. They're banning out the Firemen, they're banging out the Angela. So I feel like whatever composition they're gonna have, at least one person is gonna have a lot of bursts, and they want to take out all this burst deniers. Banning out the Harv as well. Perhaps the Roger first pick.
Roger, they want to eye for the
Roger or Link.
I believe that Fireflux will be better off just banning out the Link, just because they are a team that kind of groups up together. They want to always be there as 5. Link kind of denies that, not because it is a counter to that kind of playstyle, but the thing is, Link can resolve to that playstyle if necessary. So, in order for SRG to prolong teamfights, and also, of course, Sakai plays it so well, so I think it just makes no sense of banning.
Honestly, I agree. If you guys want to group up together, then your side lanes is going to be vulnerable. Even if you don't win the team fight, you can always grab the objectives, and then eventually, and this is just going to go crazy. So, the Moskov ban here.
Good ban.
So Slangway Giants.
Roger or Ling.
Roger? Yeah, Roger or Ling, and then Fireflux gets the other. I would say maybe even grab the Roger, try to challenge Fireflux, saying that there's no way you guys are going to grab the Ling with your playstyle.
Yeah, not only that, but at least with the Roger, it's flexible. Ling's not you know, you know where Ling's going. So
you've never seen a mid Ling.
Hey, never say never.
Oh, you know what? My bad. SRG has been undefeated in all tournaments for 103 days. Will they extend that record today?
We'll see. Well, it will start with the Roger, unless they want to pick up something crazy like Terry's the first pick, right? Because it is the glue to almost everything. So it is indeed the Roger. I believe if you're Fireflux, I wanted to get like Valentina enters at this stage, or maybe
I agree.
Maybe get the Edith as soon as possible because they do want to prioritize that.
Or just wait for the mid pick, just in case if Stormy picks up the
Valentina,
you just pick up the Farsa.
Exactly. So it should be.
The only problem with that is that if Slangway Giants picks up the Link, then the Farsa is going to be having a little bit of a difficult time.
That's how you want to pick up the Valentina as soon as possible. So I am guessing Valentina plus Terizla or Edith, you know? That combo, there it is, Valentina Edith. Got it. So
a Ling, like honestly, he could still pick up. Or one of his specialties is the Nolan. But again, it's either or.
I think it will go Farsa Teresa. All
Yeah.
honesty here for.
You have options for the jungler.
Yeah, so I have 2 Valentinas and 2 Ediths here. It's a mirror.
Little mirror.
Yeah.
Little mirror action.
Just kidding. But yeah, why do I think that it's going to be the Farsa? Because eventually you will definitely need that. Oh, okay. That's different.
They still go the Ling though.
Yeah. So you flex the Ruby from EXP and Roam.
I guess they have a lot of confidence for Stormy, wanting to make sure that they see everything first before really committing with the Farsa. Now, I do have to say, Stormy has shown off-meta picks like the Kagura. Perhaps there's something else that Coach Arcadia is hiding.
I think part of that too is maybe they leave it to kind of get some of those bans out. These last 2 bans now, you have a choice. Do we ban out the Farsa so we're not giving the Farsa over? We have seen Aurora also pop up, you know, from just not only today, but even the deal with the Valentina. So there's still a lot left, and it could be just a play from SRG and Coach Arcadia to be like, you know what, let's get those bans out towards the mid lane from Fireflux.
If you're a Fireflux, despite you having the Baksha, I think it merits.
There's one
ban on the Terizla, but now they banned Vexana. Perhaps a Farsa ban afterwards, or maybe a Kagura ban afterwards. Now for SRG, what they can do is just to limit the marksman options, right? Because you've already revealed the backshot, so it means this will be a physical damage carry. Claude, for example, Beatrix, heroes that Fireflux will be picking up. I think that the limitations stuff for Fireflux will be incredibly high. Like, do they go back to the carry at this point? But both Claude and carry will be banned, so this is the only spot where Fireflux's problems will arise. Instead, they ban Florin.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of how they feel, because we got to talk about the Turkish Delight. It's basically a different form of Ube, right? Where you will have some kind of healing. That's why I've been thinking in my head, maybe even something like a Minotaur might get banned out, and this Edith will just go to the EXP so that they have a lot of crowd control and they still have some form of healing.
Yeah.
Oh, they actually banned out the Cho last ban here from Fireflux. Interesting again, because the Ruby still kind of flex. So last ban, will it be the Minotaur? I think that could actually be a good ban from SRG.
Yeah. Or Tigreal.
Tigreal as well, yeah.
But I think you ban the Claude now, or carry for SRG, so that you really limit the choices for Fireflux. There's a chance that Fireflux just picks up the carry.
Oh, they ban out the Grok.
Wow.
I don't know. Personally, for me, if I have the skills of Innocent, I'll tell the coach, I don't care who I face up against. I'm going to be able to do. I have my Roger. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Carry Claude for Fireflux, unless this will be different like at Nathan. But Nathan plus Edith and Baksha typically doesn't work. Although it was Team Liquid Echo that showed us that it doesn't matter if it's full magic damage, you can still win.
I feel like that takes a, you couldn't do that all the time and get the win off of it.
It's scary.
Usually you want that rounded amount of damage.
Yeah.
But Fireflux goes with the Kaja pickup.
Yeah. Okay, what is good? I think Aurora is good for SRG. Farsa is also good. And then maybe they snatch a Tigreal themselves. Apart from that, the Terizla's still open, by the way. So, I mean, for SRG, it's either Barretts or Terizla, I would assume.
Yeah.
Then get the Aurora or Farsa.
Yeah, it's really tricky when it comes to the mid. Because I'm really wondering in case they have a legit different kind of pick here for the mid lane. Because Stormy's even showed the Hellcrit mid. I don't think he's going to show up here, but, just for reference.
Yeah,
Well, it's a best of 5, so
it is.
maybe.
Oh, there's
See,
Eve.
Eve.
It's Eve.
Becomes the Eve as well as the Terizla.
Hey, you were talking about the playstyle of Stormy. This fits it really well, the Eve.
He's an enabler for the team.
Oh man, you don't want to play the carry, so the carry Kaja is not that effective.
They go it anyway, Wolf.
They go it anyway because, again, this is a wombo combo of snatching and killing, or a cheeky meta. But anyways, SRG picking up the Eve. Even though Wolf didn't like it, Fireflux picked up the carry. So with that being said, casters, you guys seen the draft. Now it's your turn.
You're absolutely right, analysts. This one, it's kind of tough to say. They've basically broken all of Wolf's rules, every single one of them, and yet their composition is basically just looking to fight in that kill box.
speaking of the box, we've only really seen Eve make a showing in the group stage once, and that's not even as a pick, it was a ban.
It makes a lot of sense, right? A lot of ways to kind of get in and out of the fight from the side of SRG if we had to compare it to Fireflux. And I think at this point, right, I don't know how the carry is going to get like effective damage in if every single time you have to deal with the real world manipulation. But with that being said, we're going into the land of Dawn once more for the second best of 5 between SRG Selangor Red Giants on the blue side up against Fireflux Esports on the blue side. On the red side. Am I colorblind? No. Let's get into it. Both on purple.
Colors.
They're hard, man. They're real hard.
The Pride of Turkey rocking a lineup that I personally like, especially when you're able to just say, I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to dive in. The Swiss Army Knife of Selangor Red Giants box could work out. Maybe if they're able to get it online and if they synchronize fast enough. Which is weird to ask from a team that has been winning for the past 100+ days. But also, people have to consider, they're a relatively new team. Like, compared to Fireflux Esports, who have been together for like 2 years now?
Yeah.
The synergy from the Turkish here.
Yeah, I think, you know, for the longest of times when we're looking at the overall philosophy of SRG, it's about, yeah, let's get the chemistry down and then let's start laying the foundation for something even bigger. But in these early stages of the game, I'm a little worried, right? Because they supercharged TNZ, making sure that they got Apex 47 to leash him on the opposite side of the map to reduce the time it takes to actually clear his entire jungle to keep up the pace with Sakai's.
Which is a total switch up in core priorities, because Fireflux Esports, it's clear, it's Rosa and it's Sunshine. For Selangor Red Giants, it's Innocent and Sakai's. TNZ running through 2. Sakai's pushed back by Apex. And they jockey for position here with the turtle spawning in just a wee bit.
Yeah, as you can see, right now, Ling barely does any damage to TNZ on this Boxia, right? At this point of time, I don't think the first turtle should be contested. If not, at most, it should be a drive-by. But game fact, Rosa leads all the players with the highest damage per minute at 4,419.
That's most HP heroes from early to mid. Rosa can burst them all down. Oh, wait, check this out. Apex forcing Sakai's to respond. There's the retribution. Now Turtle should all be but secured for Fireflux.
Yeah, and I mean, Sakai's, he's just trying to get the flicker out of it. Ooh.
Here we go! The Eve just dashing on through, pulls the first blood from the NZ. Yooms gets punished, though. I guess that's a trade for both. I mean, Pyrrhic victory here for Fireflux, but wait, Alien still standing. Crab gets hit with the onward. He does take down Alien, and he pays the price with his life.
So close, they might find another trade.
They're still going, sick guys. Jumps on through Stormy, can he survive? Gets the Terrify, oh no, he dodges it. Sick guys, is there enough damage? Then the jump, the Boxer Unite, TNT finds him. Can he get one more? Stormy's gonna live.
Oh my goodness, both of these teams refuse to lose out on this trade. Technically, SRG on that very first 1-for-1, they were trading upwards, right? Let's look at this replay one more time, because once the fight really does extend itself, and especially since it's like below 5 minutes, the death timers are super short. Let's not forget that TNZ, especially with that shield unity, is able to cover a lot of distance.
All this while, up top, Innocent and Sunshine are still at their weigh-in. They're still staring each other down, doing fight poses, and talking smack because they're not ready for the fight yet. I think this is the right way to deal with a Roger. I think all throughout wild card, group stage, and now in the knockouts, we've seen Rogers try to do things early because, again, that's what early Skypiercer spells out, right? Like, you gotta fight early. But no, I think there is a tempo, there is a beat that you have to follow, and that's what Innocent here respects, and that's why Sunshine's farming up too. So guys, what's he doing? Did he steal the buff?
Yep, he tried to steal the buff knowing that TNZ is going to be showing up on the opposite side of the map, and I think at this point of time, right, Fireflux, they've got a lot of tempo onto SRG's side. At this point of time, I think we can also talk about, oh, wow, wait, hold on, that doesn't seem right, but he's already got 2.7. Early Thunderbelt coming in from Innocent?
Oh. All right, so he wants to get the hybrid. This is a fighter, Roger. Now wait, the crash on the Stormy. Tempest of Blade stolen away, knocking out the Eve. That is one man down. Selangor Red Giants missing a member. Fireflux Esports making a beeline straight for the turtle. Early puissance, can Yooms deny?
Oh, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to deny this, especially without the back. Oh,
Oh! Divine Judgment by Apex 47 finds one. Cram flickers away. Sunshine moving forward, flickering to, or rather, no, just dashing on forward. Yums goes down too. Double kill for Sunshine.
This is not good. This is not good because these kills are getting funneled into both Rosa and as well as Sunshine. The cores, right? And I think that SRG, if they have to adapt their plan right now, they've got to slow their roll. They're going to need a lot more items before they are relevant. And most importantly, right, they need this Rizla to be in the middle of this fight. Great play coming in for Apex 47. This is why tempo is so very important.
Oh, wow. It's giving turn, man. It's giving massive turn. They understand that we have to win the fight first before we can even consider getting the turtle, despite Fireflux being ahead at the time. Now they're 3K gold ahead.
I mean, if we compare Sunshine to Innocent, it's been a while since we've seen Innocent be down on gold. And I think it's great for Sunshine with this huge injection. This is going to help with Fireflux Esports' trajectory coming in towards that mid game. But at the same time, their priorities isn't even just taking this turtle. It's about how much they can fish out of SRG.
Yep, Sunshine won the way in. Another Divine Judgment welcomed by a penalty zone and the pull. Yums very low, Tempest of Blades up into the air. Yums taken out already. Rosa scored in by Stormy. Aliens in trouble. Penalty zone by Cram. Stopping the exit. And that's a win. Selangor Giants, 2 for 1.
They trade up on this one, but in the meantime, wait, oh, Sunshine getting some really great damage onto that structure because SRG want to make sure that Cram is going to be there first for the next upcoming turtle fight, right? So Innocent, he's going to be chilling down on the bot side of the map.
Oh, Apex just defending this the hard way. Oh, he's taking his time with his ballista. They're going to lose the turret. And will they lose his life? He's still up. Innocent gets a few bits on him. TNZ with the Baksha Unite. It's a 2v4 potentially. They're still going. Popping that Puissance. Here's Alien just up the corner. He jumps onto Yums. Forces one. There's the onward. Looking for the Earth Shatter. Primordial Wrath up defensively. Nice bait by Selangor Giants.
It's kind of interesting to see that Innocent is trying to minimize as many mistakes as possible, right? Like, he definitely had an angle to kill Apex 47 there, but decided not to do it, thinking that maybe the Divine Judgment is coming up. Let's not forget that Alien was missing off the map, so he could be rotating in. He's calculating all the possibilities.
Oh! Flicker Divine Judgment catches one. Yums gets the Immortality pop. Stormy swiping away, Yums. Oh, gonna get that. I'm offended and lives! They walk away from it. Rosa finds one. Trade for Cram, 1 for 1 so far. Down goes Rosa. Double kill for Innocent. Zekai's falls. Couple of pinwheels chase him down. Innocent with the shutdown. Triple kill for Cent.
Oh my goodness, what a nasty play there. Sometimes you just forget that, hey, Innocent still has Flicker, and honestly, if he missed that skill shot, it was basically over for him. So they started off dropping down the RWM after the engage, the initial pull, and that was the whole idea having this Yeeve. But just look at the way that they played this, right? Innocent targets down their low targets. Sakai's unfortunately dies, but at the same time, Innocent is very aware of the low members, the low cores from Fireflux Esports' team.
He went from target to target, man. Found Rosa, next. Target, next. Oh, man. This is a build that I would like to study more. I want to see more of this.
I made a video on it.
Fight continues. Rosa with a stolen. Oh, RW. Another one goes. Stormy falls. And just like that, they force out a Tempest of Blades. Selangor Giants. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Turtle turned into a Lord. This is amazing. The Turkish are doing it. Can they blitz it? Oh, massive win. Divine Judgment one more time. Zekai's falls. Selangor Giants are fighting out of their breath.
I mean, they're adapting too much. They're responding to everything they see from the side of Fireflux Esports, and I think they need to just calm down and honestly slow down this game. As much as they want to accelerate it, let's have a look at the goal, right? Now, much more even. Wow, Sky Pierce on top of the endless battle purchases coming from Innocent. He is strong, and at the same time, the Trinity build from Sunshine is almost complete. Mid lane is where you see the biggest difference here, because one is Bloodwings, the other opting to go for the Ice Queen's Wand to play as utility. So Stormy, he's not the main carry here. He's just the emergency eject button.
Not just the mid lane duo. Because you'll see there's more than 1,000 between Apex 47 and Yums. That's why there were 2 Divine Judgments that happened in that fight. He was rocking fleeting time.
It's nasty, but now they're,
The Flicker and the DJ one more time. The RWM coming in from Stormy. They're fighting inside SRG's kill box. That's why Apex 47 is going to fall, as well as Alien. They're punishing the Turkish. And down goes Cram. Sunshine gets 1, 2 for 1 so far. They do lose out on the top lane tier 2 and as well mid lane tier 1. And oh no, Sekais needs this. Grant that purple. Fireflux Esports.
All right, it's tough to say that SRG traded up now, losing that purple buff. It means you lose a lot of influence across the map. The upcoming fights, I don't think they should take it just yet, but if they can crack open this, man, they are just trading back and forth. Look at this.
Oh, Rosa forced to use a stolen Tempest of Blades. I'm offended. Coming in from Yumes. Tianzi crashing and leaning hard into this engage. MP47 with the conceal. Which target is he looking for? All right, I'll take this one right here. Yumes gets the knock up. Sunshine served up a kill.
Yeah, I think that SRG right now, Yumes, he might be overheating a little. I think he's making too many calls and he needs to calm down. Because Fireflux Esports, because of this fleeting time, it's really making the difference because he's been able to assist so many kills already. 8 out of the 13.
Huge here
whoa.
for Apex. Oh, Sekais, where you going? Looking for the knockdown, looking for the stun. Oh, the Unite knocks him off the wall. Sekais is on the ground and now underneath it.
This is rough. This is really rough for SRG. They're not going to be able to get to the late games on that time at this point. And I think that Fireflux Esports, they know it as well. That's why they're applying so much pressure. Keep trading with us. We're going to always trade back.
They're willing to fight it tooth and nail. And it's not like macro is thrown out the window. If anything, it always results to macro.
This is so different compared to when we saw Fireflux Esports play, last year, right? The Turkish delight, as we like to call it. This is such a polar opposite, even.
Oh, well, that wasn't their full lineup. If I'll recall, and I'll remind people, Rosa was out busy doing, real life things. Rosa was getting an education, and now. The Queen is back, and now they're going as far as they could, maybe even stopping SRG's streak. But I don't want to say it anything too soon, right? Check out the river control here from Fireflux, Tianzi, and Alien. This 4-1, technically 2-3 lineup from Fireflux Esports working out so well. Look at this, the sandwich play from down bottom. Apex 47 catches Yumes after the conceal. Does not pull the trigger.
I think it's not a good idea to pull the trigger onto Yumes now that he has the immortality, right? It just means that the fight is going to be extra extended and you're going to be sitting under the bombardment of the RWF. We saw the damage dealt and start right now, Stormy is currently on top. If we're looking at the gold lead, it's only 3,000 despite all the blood and structures that have collapsed. It's surprising that this is only a 3K lead for Fireflux.
Yeah, what this says to me is Selangor Giants, they know that the game isn't over. We're just about entering late game, and Stormy, Sekais, Innocent, they can still build more items and they can find better engages.
What is this angle?
That's a scary angle. They forced the flicker away from Stormy.
Oh, luckily, Sekais spotted them out just before the engage actually connected, relaying the information back to the SRG to tell them, hey, we got to start backing off here. We get flanked, it's basically over for us because Stormy, keep in mind that the RWM only goes towards one direction. It's not like he has a 360 coverage like Farsa.
Yeah, you can't relocate where you commit that box to, which so far has been on point. And now Tianzi, jump in the walls. Checking these rivers, checking these bushes the hard way. I mean, they can afford to. I'm offended. Apex 47 in trouble. The RWM, the answer. Back Cram coming in with the penalty zone. Sekais finds Apex, cuts his wings, takes him down. Traded out for Cram, 1-for-1. Yumes gets his immortality pop, still alive, but just barely. In goes Alien to the backline. Sunshine's down. Yumes as well, 2-for-2 so far. Tianzi and Rosa chased down by Innocent. Alien playing footsies with Stormy. Oh, this is a bad look for Fireflux Esports. Alien might fall here. There's the knockup. Where's the damage? Down goes Alien. Oh, Innocent still alive, but just barely. The Rose Queen keeps on going. Stormy still alive. Sekais with the kill. Could this be a wipeout? Tianzi still standing, but not so long. Double kill for Sekais. All fall down.
An unofficial wipeout. No. So bold of them to actually continue to rush this down. But Sekais, he's already maxed out on EXP, right? He's got all the levels in the world. Uncontested. Can't really stop this situation at all as they're going to be able to find another pick.
All right, Apex 47. Had a dream, had a hope. Maybe with my passive, maybe with my Ring of Order, we can get it. But Too little, too late. Massive objective scored over to SRG. Let's see that fight one more time.
Yeah, we saw all the flickers come out of Fireflux. As soon as all the flickers came out, the RWM, well, Stormy didn't have to do much after that, right? I think the engagement from Cram could have been just a little bit better. It was just a little bit more to the left. It would have hit so many more targets. But I think that Innocent, this Thunderbelt is really proving a lot of dividends. He's taken a lot of chip damage unintentionally, but it's not his choice. And yet, he's still so close to outplaying even the Thorn Queen.
Yeah, he's allowed to just walk around. He's allowed to like take hits normally and keep his like and pounds for when it really matters.
It's ridiculous. Let's look at the items here to see what we're working with. Because so far, I'm surprised that he's not taking as much damage as he could be taking. Sunshine also in a very similar position. He's pretty strong as well, but the Sky Piercer's honestly making these fights much cleaner for SRG now that they have it, and not to mention has stacked it as well.
Oh, I see the interaction now. Check it out. Thunderbelt goes through the Wind of Nature. And with that, it'll also go through via Sky Piercer. So regardless, if Sunshine pops the Wind of Nature, he will still die.
You got it right on the head. Right on the head. And I think that Fireflux Esports need to recognize the way that they manage their fight really boils down to how many resources can we get out of them. And that's why you see they only fight once, especially at this stage of the game, when their battle spells are up.
Yeah, now the foot's on the other shoe as Selangor Red Giants are ahead now. Be it for the map, be it for the kills. And Fireflux Esports not going to let that stop them. Not going to let that be a detriment to their aggression. TMZ and Apex 47 going hunting. Pop to conceal. Finds the weird angle again, but wow, Selangor Giants adapting to the situation. You see this now?
Yeah.
They're not allowing for them to get sandwiched anymore.
Exactly. They're cut literally in half. It's a parallel between the two, vertically controlling opposite sides of the map. And now this tier 2 op on the top side, as soon as somebody shows themselves, and especially if it's a core, that's when you're expecting Fireflux to then take the space back.
Oh, and because of how SRG is controlling the correct side of the map, at least for this moment here, the sequence, they're able to seal away an orange.
I mean, look at this. They've got so many, like, technically rear view mirrors, making sure that all the little gaps that maybe Fireflux could look to find that flank are covered. So great coverage, great vision from SRG's side, great ideas from both of these teams.
They got eyes on the back of their heads. And to be honest, Fireflux Esports, it seems like they have a extra set of appendages as well, right? Because of how aggressive they are. It's like, where are those punches coming from? But that was the early game. That was the mid game. Now in the late game, now that SRG is a little more aware and their footwork is just more than fancy. I'll say it's exquisite because, again, it's been a while since Fireflux was able to find the kill angle. This Lord is, I'll say, 60-70% favorite to SRG.
I don't know. It's really, really dangerous here because we have to consider the amount of CC, right? Like, Divine Judgment, Earth Shadow coming in from Alien,
Unite.
maybe the Fear from... Oh, yeah. I mean, but you're already on top of that Lord, so I don't think you can... I mean, there is a possibility. Let's not count it out, of course, with the Shield Unity. But then Yums has multiple 2 forms of CC. Penalty Zone as well. Ooh,
Forced
wait.
out the flicker from Cram.
Are they going to do anything about this, though? I see the conceal from Yums.
The response from Cram was just to lean forward. I guess SRG made the call, right? You baited it out, feign the response, and now they knock up Yums. Fireflux Esports looking for the re-engage. Tianji coming in with the Unity. False engage from the back. I'm offended from Yums. Lord here at half health.
I think they want Alien to use his ult. They want him to use the Primal Wrath at some point of time. But they're going to creep around the right side.
Lord here at the 10th of its health. Can they force something here? Rolls it from the backside. Cram with the penalty zone. Already, the Lord secured. Demon's Blade stolen away. Down goes Innocent. This is looking bad. Yu's taken out. Cram gets the immortality pop. Look at Sakai's going straight for the proxy. 3 for none. Gideon 3 for none. I mean, they did score the Lord, but can Selangor Red Giants even capitalize?
I mean, they can't. And I think that Fireflux Esports, the fact that they took out 3 means that, honestly, they don't even have a response back, right? Let's look at this fight one more time, because unfortunately, they did not clear the lane push down on the bottom side of the map, right? And that's why Innocent got caught in the first place by Apex without Apex having to use his flicker. So that was already the very first mistake here we see from SRG, a blaring mistake, in a matter of fact.
Oh no, Sakai's in trouble. Tempest of Blade. Can Apex 47 get it? He does have a Divine Judgment. There it is! Shut down! Stormy trying to save his teammate. But he can't do that. He can secure the purple for them. But SRG, oh, the flippity flop. The switch up one more time. Turkey on top.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Again, great chemistry, great decisions being made from both sides. Even though, yes, SRG did make the mistakes, we saw the instant response. Hey, let's minimize the damage that could potentially come towards us. We got the Lord at the end of the day. And even for Fireflux, they're like, okay, next time we can make these angles actually work for us. We just got to keep working them slowly.
They're more acute now. It used to always just be Apex and Tienzi or Apex and Alien. But now even Rosa can come in now. Oh no, Tienzi's in trouble. The early puissance, the penalty zone, the answer back, Crab's in trouble. Down he goes. Tienzi might get his immortality pop. Nope, he's still alive. Clean pick-off for Fireflux.
Very nice pick-off indeed, and it's proving to be so valuable. Alien does so much damage in that primal, with the primordial form. It's ridiculous how much he's getting away with this right now. And I think that even for SRG like Cram, there's so little that he can do about it. He wants to find these big engages, but Fireflux Esports are distancing themselves from each other to make sure that penalty zone doesn't get 100% efficiency.
Yep, and you're talking about efficiency, you're talking about effective damage. Stormy has dealt a lot of damage. I mean, #1 in the charts, but there were very few times that SRG was able to capitalize on that, to make the most of those damage, turn them into actual kills. And that happened in the, I'd say, late game. Now we're approaching the ultra-late game. Now that Fireflux is in control once more, Sekai's gonna struggle to get his purple.
He tries, unable to close the distance enough to get a clean retry on it, but
he peeped.
But with that being said, 25 more seconds until the next Lord spawns, and I think they need to have some kind of game plan here. Let's look at the items and maybe we'll get a better idea, because I'm seeing the GDS coming out from the side of Sekai's just to make sure even after his ult, he's able to create some form of distance.
Yep, and now we have barefoot gold laners. That means they're just throwing out the movement, because all that matters is as long as I'm in the fight, I get there, I need the extra oomph, I need the extra damage, and that's what Sunshine and Innocent have invested in.
But Innocent did decide to go for the DHS, which is really important here on top of the Malefic Roar, right? Because now TNZ and Alien can't just be, TNZ and Alien can't just walk up anymore, right?
Not easy.
They can't just hold their ground like Carl TZ in the previous game.
Yep, they're gonna feel it for sure. Sekais gets spotted here, forcing out an early Tempest of Blades, because again, anytime Apex has that green, anytime Apex has a Divine Judgment, it's trouble. Oh no, Alien flickering out, get caught by the I'm Offended. Immortality pop through. Sunshine gonna go down here, popping the Wind of Nature, gets the Immortality pop. Look at the back line. Innocent found out by TNZ. Sekais takes out Sunshine. Currently the trade 2 for 1. Can Fireflux Esports equalize here?
They're gonna try. Sekai's gonna get out of there, but I think Yums should fall down. Wait, TNZ, wait, hold on.
Oh, he got cornered. Forced to use the Winter Crown. Gets a juggle. Still alive, but not for long. And that might be it. Another Winter Crown trigger. And an Immortality. And the juggle. Rosa flickering on out. And Sekai spots the Queen after the stolen Tempest of Blades. As soon as they land, they get taken out. Apex 47 left. This could be it.
I mean, they're still street fighting. They're still brawling. It hasn't ended in an RWM to break immortality as they're cracking on the inhibitors.
Oh, the flicker by Apex 47 saving himself.
Alien
He's going to need every little bit of kit. Oh, the concealed play. He gets bursted down, and so will the base.
How was that an end angle? How is that even an end angle? Who can even foresee that far ahead?
Maybe synergy isn't what SRG has. Maybe they're just clairvoyant.
I can't. This game has been action-packed. Usually, when you see those later stages of the game, they start chilling out, right? They're waiting for, oh, super long death timers, big consequences, and they're like, discard that, fight.
They want sure engages. They want something that I'm sure it's going to pay off. I know this is the right angle, but no, they were playing on the fly. They were just like, here, kill, no, kill, and then boom, trades until the 20th minute.
I mean, if this is just a taste of what is to come in the rest of this series, I cannot wait to see more. Let's throw it over to our analyst, break it down for us. That was one hell of a match.
Few things I want to talk about. First of all, that was close. Second of all, even though Fireflux lost, but I feel like Kaja is now starting to become a staple in this meta.
It's I think the threat of it, especially when you're talking about assassins being locked in, is great. Pick-off potential, obviously, too. But really what stuck out for me as we look at the highlights here is just how well the timing was from SRG. A lot of the kind of overlapping, the overlaying they did, and dealing with the Winter Crowns, the Immortalities, the Primal Wrath even, was just on point how they dealt with it.
Oh, this was one of the most important ones. As Innocent proves to us why the Thunderbolt first pick item was perfect. And by the way, there were so many outplays. And I have to give it to Fireflux, honestly. Even after losing this, because of how they drafted in this game, they have to play perfectly almost all the time, which I would say for the first 21 minutes of the game, they played perfectly with the composition they had. TNC was on point, Sunshine was on point, even Apex 47 is choosing the right decisions. It's just that in the end, SRG just naturally won with this lineup that they have. The Eve very strong against the carry. You have the Ling, which is also not a problem. Also a problem, I mean, for the carry. Then Innocent Roger just making it so difficult for Apex 47 to decide, because surely the Kaja is great versus Roger, great versus Ling, but if they're together, Ling and Roger, that's a difficult decision, difficult spot to be in as a Kaja.
Stormy did 108,000 damage, but I feel like the reason Slang Red Giant was able to win that one was just whoever was the one that said, we fight now, gotta give props to the guy, because one of the last team fights that we saw was when Sakai's found out that the Valentina and the Kaja was down bot.
Exactly.
And then for some reason that was like, you know what? The Valentina is here. Why don't you guys pick a fight? And then they did, and then eventually they won the fight.
And Apex 47, Alien was caught. That was the main front line for the team that was caught. And then you all already have the damage, can go in and out with Roger as well as the Link. That's how strong that duo is right now. And Stormy at the end, because of access to a lot of items already, he hurts a lot. And eventually, if you get the Winter Crown, I was kind of hoping that the Winter Crown and Real World Manipulation will be seen in this game, but apparently it wasn't needed.
Yeah, honestly, like, that was an amazing matchup, but nice. After seeing that, I do agree. There's a big possibility we could go all 5 games.
I think so, because I was actually, based on how, like Wolf said, this 21 minutes was going, I was thinking this game 1 was going to Fireflux Esports. But going back to it, I think that was the thing for SRG. The synergy was there, and just the timings. I mean, even with the whole Skypiercer, like if you really look at how they kind of Sakai's, he had a rough start, but once he got locked in and then he was able to pop the Skypiercer at the right moments because the way Innocent, it changed the dynamic even with the build that we saw Innocent bring to the table.
Either way, I kind of feel like for now, the knockout stage, something that we do have to see is the Kaja, because again, Kaja is one of those picks that we haven't seen around for a very long time, just because no matter who you pull, it seems like you're going to pull the wrong person. But nowadays, picking up the roamer seems like a good call. The jungler is going to be an amazing call, especially if it's not going to be a tanky jungler, as well as the gold lane.
Yeah, there was
options now.
They have a lot of options. There was a time where he pulled in the Yums, and it was instrumental for them getting the neutral objective. There was one time that they gave up the Lord in lieu of killing Innocent, which also allowed them to get 3 kills afterwards. And definitely this Kaja pick is going to be more famous in the next few matches that we have. Obviously, you have to always think about the combo, right? And in this case, it's the carry. Makes a lot of sense, right? But I felt like it's difficult because the thing with carry is it's a combo. It's almost a skill-based hero if you think about it.
No, I agree.
So you have to pop the ultimate to get 1 kill. If you don't have the ultimate anymore, then you're not going to be able to kill the others.
Yeah, I agree. But for now, we got to look at our Sony MVP. It's going to my boy, Stormy. Stormy with the Eve pickup. Dealing the most amount of damage, 108,000 damage. Honestly, looking at this game, once the Eve got picked up, even in my head, is like, how is he going to play this?
Played it with the Terizla, which, interestingly, they kind of de-synergized in the first few minutes. Not gonna lie, it looked really dicey at the first. Like, they're not connecting their shots. But once they found their groove, when eventually maybe the coffee kicked in for SRG, now they're all together, and it looks beautiful to combo the penalty zone into the Eve ultimate. And of course, Stormy also utilized the bare form of the crystals, right? Even without the ultimate, he's actually killing people.
Yeah, I think part of that is just utilizing the death box that we call real world manipulation.
I would call it the real world penalty.
Real world penalty zone?
Sure, let's
real
add
world penalty box.
Penalty manipulation.
Penalty manipulation.
Manipulated by penalties.
real world pain here, guys. But either way, Stormy with the if pickup again. Looking at itemization, it does look like more of a utility kind of build, having the Enchanted Talisman as well as the Ice Queen Wand. Now we got to talk about how great it is, even with a utility build, seems to be able to still dish out quite a lot of damage. So Stormy just increasing his hero pool for Fireflux to be careful of in the next game.
Yeah, that's why you pointed out too in the draft, Wolf, that you were surprised with the carry pick. Yeah, because like you said, it's kind of it comes down to skill base because also you're working against very short range. Yes. So once the Purify's down, that's why even just the base, you know, the base hits there, proccing the Ice Queen Wand was sometimes enough to go ahead and start that up.
Eve is naturally the counter to carry from before. Like even Farsa, they kind of make it difficult for carry to walk around. True. Especially with the Ice Queen Wand Eve, wherein you can purify the real world manipulation box with the stun, but the following skill 1 and skill 2 pokes, you will now survive from that.
With that being said, we've actually prepared a special video here where we're able to talk to Sakai. So let's see what he has to say.
Perasaan saya rasa tipu lah kalau tak happy. Of course happy.
Red Giants drag the Sky Kings out of their throne.
First of all, untuk audience Malaysia, community Malaysia, sebab kita tahu tournament international yang lepas, like M5, Malaysia tidak dapat slot ke playoff dua-dua tim Malaysia. So saya bersyukur sebab tournament international kali ini, tim Malaysia dapat ke babak selanjutnya. Kita tahu yang tim Oni adalah one of most strongest team in the world. So saya rasa diorang maybe ada problem dekat sini, like tak biasa ke dengan weather dekat sini, ataupun diorang kekurangan preparation, ataupun kita orang more prepare daripada diorang. So saya rasa macam tu sebab terang cakap anything pun diorang still the best team lah. So for carry, actually he is my jungler idol. So even though I defeat him, but I still respect him. And actually I'm very proud because I can defeat him. Also, this is my first international tournament and I made good run. I like Onyx very much because we know the carry is like the most good jungler, or we can say assassin user. I also love to play assassin and I idol him so much, so that's why I love Onyx. Untuk fans Malaysia, terima kasih kerana support kita orang dengan Homeboys. Kerana tanpa korang, kita orang tak dapat jejak ke sini atau dapat ke babak selanjutnya. So teruskan support kita orang.
Nip lawan Siusun. Menurut gue mereka berdua udah improve banget sih. Dari draft pick, gameplay mereka. Cuman yang sekarang tuh kayak beda banget. Apalagi dari Singapura sih. Kayak improve banget. Terus juga dari hero-hero mereka lebih banyak. Hero pool lebih banyak. Terus mereka kayak kelihatan banget lah kayak improvementnya sama Siusun. Beda banget sih. Siusun yang pas gue lawan juga. Teamwork mereka dapet. Lebih kuat juga. Juga kayak bingung sih mau pilih siapa kalau mereka berdua lawan. Dua-duanya kuat banget lah. Turki Fireflux ya, lawan SRG. Gue tetap SRG sih jauh. Gue udah sering lawan mereka juga di Scrim. Baru udah lihat turnamen mereka. Baru lawan mereka juga lah. Terus SRG tuh kayak potensi buat juara turnamennya tinggi banget lah. Seiki, Stormy sama Yoms ya. Trio mid mereka lah. Kayak itu tiga-tiganya kuat banget. Individu mereka dapet. Connect juga kayak teamwork mereka bagus banget. Kalau buat Fireflux, perbedaan yang gue ketemu kemarin ya lebih berani sih mungkin mereka. Kayak lebih berani mainnya, lebih terbuka lah. Jadi kalau menurut gue Fireflux lawan SRG, masih SRG sih lumayan jauh. Yang terakhir buat semua yang dukung kita, maaf banget lah. Karena hasilnya tidak sesuai ekspektasi. Terus kita bakalan kembali lagi dengan sekuat tenaga lah. Kita bakalan alin lagi buat turnamen selanjutnya. Buat next turnamen lah. Jadi tetap doakan kita, terus support juga, semua kita bisa baik lagi, terus lebih kuat lagi banget lah. Nah.
Honestly, amazing video.
Yeah, loved it.
Amazing video, a lot to unpack. Like, Sakai's, even though like he's in this position, but he's still very humble, saying that, you know, it doesn't matter that I won against Onyx. I still respect Kyrie very much. He still says that Kyrie is one of the best players in the world. Still saying Onyx is one of the best teams in the world. And hearing from Keyboy as well, he's able to talk about the scrims and no problem for him. But when I talk about it, then it's, you know, it's whatever, you know. But still, it's nice to hear from Keyboy saying that if See You Soon going up against NIP Flash, even he can't predict the winner because both teams have improved so much. Fireflux, compared to before, now they're more open. Now they're more brave to go and actually initiate fights. And honestly, that's what we saw against Langray Giants. They are more than prepared to start a fight and finish the fight.
Yeah, again, that game one definitely could have been theirs. And I think, you know, as we go to game two, possibly if they go even with a different game plan or even the same one as game one, if they played the way they did and it came down to that one team fight like you mentioned, Wolf, that could be something very easy for them to fix to make this a 1-1 in the series.
I would say as well for Fireflux, although we're very happy to see them play their own comfort play style and their own comfort draft, their own heroes. I think that they kind of have to adjust at least, because we saw that the way they won in the group stages was when they gave the meta heroes and then they played their own game with Lolita as well as Novaria to eventually counter the Louis. 100% sure that works in the group stages, which, you know, really caught off guard the people. But then again, SRG, they're a team that can also like look back to the VODs, which evidently they did. They got all of the good heroes. They pick up the Eve. This is a trump card that they have already revealed going up against Fireflux, which I'm pretty sure Fireflux weren't, you know, equipped to deal with. They did not practice that much going up against the Eve, especially because they picked up the carry afterwards. It kind of makes me feel like they're just trusting on their own skill. So to sum it up, what I've just said is, okay, have some little respect to the metagame, although it's respectable that they are picking up their comfort playstyle. They kind of have to adjust maybe just a little bit.
And now we're jumping into the draft here. Langray Giants first pick, Fireflux second pick. So same again. And SRG, they're betting out this Faramis again. Rosa is amazing with this hero. And we saw how Langray Giants plays around the team fight. Again, don't know who's making the calls, but someone has an eye for opportunity saying, this is the team fight that we want, and then they burst them down very, very quickly. So I feel like Langray Giants, they understand their own weakness. It's like, we're playing a burst composition. We can't let the Faramis as well as Angela through.
Yeah. It might be the same, maybe Roger first pick for SRG.
Okay.
I understand the backshot though. I really love that they're playing the backshot going up against the Ling. I will just hope that they will pick up a different roamer now. Maybe go back to the Tigreal, although the Kaja was amazing. But if I recall correctly, and I have many fond memories of this, Apex 47 is great at AoE crowd control, like your Minotaurs, your Tigreals, your Grok, you know. So Kaja, although he played well, I'm not saying that he didn't. It makes out sense. There's a Terizla ban. Loving it already from Fireflux.
I guess that's why they banned it out, right? I mean, even like, what was it, the last ban from SRG previous game was Grok, right? So that kind of, I mean, they were looking to really narrow the choices down for Fireflux Esports, I would say, from the previous game. But I agree with you. I think as good as the Kaja is right now and how he's popping up more and more and more, these AoE roams are great to choose from. Boxer being the last ban from SRG.
I love that ban coming out from SRG. They don't mind. And at this point, Fireflux are forced to give up the Luyi. Maybe give the Luyi, ban the Link, because this backshot is definitely the answer. Oh, okay.
Link first pick? Oh, wait, Luyi. What am I talking about? Actually, no.
Honestly, I think they will pick up the Link.
Yeah. The Link can go up against the Luyi.
Yep. I think this is Link. And Fireflux is a team that have ignored actually picking up the Luyi many times during the group stages, right? Even if they have access to it. So if I were to guess, this is Link first pick. There it is. Ooh, tough spot now for Fireflux.
I feel like the Edith was fine. I feel like Alien on the Edith was pretty good. Now we got to look at the player code here. Malaysia used to be in the top 4 in M1. For 2 Malaysian teams to make it out of the group stage, I feel very proud, but we will not be overconfident. This is coming from SRG Ozaravecki, which is their assistant coach.
Okay, so it's Valen Moskov now for Fireflux. Even more merit to pick up the Farsa now for SRG.
Yeah. And is this going to be one of the games that Luyi is completely ignored?
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I do agree. Honestly, the Farsa pick right now is looking very good.
And the Yu Zhang as well, if Cram wants to play it, since the Terizla's banned anyways.
Or CC, one of his favorite heroes as well.
Yep. CC Ling, although, is very greedy, I would say. I would guess Farsa and Yu Zhong here for SRG.
Yeah, the Charizard getting banned out. Or they could just wait for Cram's Heroes and pick up something. Oh, they're picking up
okay.
the
It's not going to be
Never
slept
mind.
on.
the Luyi as well as the Ruby. So, again, looks like the Luyi is going to maintain the 100% appearance rate here in MSC. Are they going to pick up the Fredrin or Akai before he gets banned out?
Yeah, Fredrin or Kai. Or maybe Arlet, which we have not seen yet. It
Oh,
was
true.
Banned out. Not actually. Yeah, not even
this series,
considered.
no, yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Arlet is okay versus Louis, I would say. Maybe they get the Yu Zhong now for Alien to pick up. Yeah, Arlet.
Arlet.
Makes a lot of sense. Arlet, Moskov, good combo. Arlet is theoretically okay versus the Louis. It always will be dependent on execution. Just because you can use the final slash against both Chip and Louis, so there's that. SRG, they might be thinking banning out Tiger and Lolita, even when Lolita is not a meta pick. Firefox has shown us that it is actually an okay pick going up against the Louis.
Yeah, looking at Fireflux, looks like they're going to be banning out Innocence Hero. Banning out a carry, perhaps banning out a Claude as well. Although looking at their lineup, I kind of feel like they can handle the Claude.
Yeah.
Fireflux handling the Claude.
Yeah.
And the
I
thing
feel
is,
like they can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
SRG, Fireflux cannot double down or triple down on marksman bans because this Ruby can be gold lane for all we know.
True, true. Honestly, Innocent has used the CC gold lane as well. Again, not sure if that's going to be the pickup that they want to go for, but historically, it has been an option.
Yeah. That's absolutely right.
I mean, I feel like just a fine ban here, just banning out the Claude, because I feel like for the Ruby pickup, it's too 50-50. I mean, like, if you want to ban a Roamer, do you want to ban out the Cho again?
Yeah.
So if it's a if this is another marksman ban,
And at the
less
same
for
time,
Innocent.
Cho has great synergy with both Louis as well as Ling.
True.
Because he just can send out that Cho. Yeah, I think
Although I
that could be
feel
a
like
ban.
if Yumes doesn't get the Cho, I think he's fine picking up the Grok.
Yeah. Snatching it, the Grok Louis classic combo.
Oh, Harry, forgot about Harry.
Wow.
a lot of focus on.
We forgot about Harry.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
actually
goodness.
thought it was banned.
Yeah.
a whole lot of focus on Innocent. I mean, so is this possibly just a Claude pick for him? You know, still going to be open. Pick up the Claude.
Yeah.
Changa goalie. Okay, maybe.
Oh,
Not for this one. Not for knockouts.
How about Yu Zhong now for Fireflux? And then they close it out with an Akai jungle. That's completely shutting down the Louis. Arlot, Yu Zhong, and Akai, both, all of those three heroes are just great versus the Louis. That could be a direction for Fireflux. And at the same time, you have good synergy with Akai plus the Arlot.
Looks like the Grok is now going over to Apex 47 again. And like you said, well, if this Arlet is flexible, is able to go to the roam position, they could pick up their jungler now just to keep it hidden for a little bit longer.
You think
Yeah,
they still
Akai.
need to go utility then? Yeah, Akai.
Yeah, I think Akai. Well, you saw Echo that we saw how.
I mean, would they play in Hayabusa?
Tigreal.
Oh, they pick up the Tigreal, showing that the Arlet is going to the EXP. So,
yes, sir. I love it.
I mean, if they want, they could go Hayabusa, but I don't know how much practice they have with Assassin jungler.
That's right. Okay, so you're looking for maybe a gold laner for SRG. XP going up against Arlot. Terizla is out. Yu Zhong still looks really good for SRG. That's a massive pickup for sure. And then if you're going up against Moskov, you go what? Beatrix, or in this case, you go for Clint, perhaps.
Say,
against
bring out the
Moskov?
cowboy.
Yep.
Claude's still there too.
Yeehaw.
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 It's about that time.
Okay. The suspense is thrilling. I do hope it's Yu Zhong actually for SRG. Bruno CC.
What? I mean, I did call out the CC, so that's my KPI of the day.
Man,
But
Remember
it's a greedy man.
Remember when it was us casting the Bruno game from XYG?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Amon!
Hey, Amon, all right.
Is it the vessel?
Yeah, it could be the vessel skin.
It's
I
the
mean,
vessel.
like, it's up to him which skin he wants to use, but Honestly, this is a pretty spicy matchup here because we're seeing a Bruno, we're seeing an Amon. The Amon we haven't seen so far. So for the casters casting this game, good luck for this one because I don't know who's going to win.
Well, boys, I'm going to say, not going to spoil what skins they're going to be using just yet. For the most part, we're seeing different priorities in where and how they want to actually attack the map from both of these teams. It's an interesting spread of resources. Once again, on the desk is going to be me getting Q with Leo doing the play-by-plays. We head into the land of Dawn. Get excited because after game number 1, I have high expectations that game number 2 is going to be just as bloody.
2 games into this slobber knocker, and already we're pulling out the deep cuts. Amon on Atienzi, who was also known as Cura back then in MSC 2023, used to play this very hero. They used this hero to score 1 against then third placers, now defending champions of MPL Philippines, Echo.
It's wild.
It's there, right? And then you also have now an old favorite, Bruno, being played by this very gentleman right here. This is innocent. I mean, you mentioned, you whispered under your breath earlier, he wants to win the lane.
Yeah, that's what I think he's trying to do, right? Why else would you want a Bruno other than smashing structures open and smashing your lane, right? Those are the 1 or 2 things that you want to do. But I think the hardest part now that other things have come into the meta, like the Harith, like the Roger, of course, now that we've really taken the first layer off, what's revealed underneath, it was probably either Brody or Bruno. And both of these B&Bs are doing very, very well, especially when you're up against a Moscow who can't really trade with you in the early game unless you have an Inspire, which I don't think they took.
Yeah, and now I'm also wondering what SRG's thinking with the CC in the hands of Kram. He was definitely instrumental in turning the tides in game 1 as the Terizla, which has a big ticket ult, right? Which has the penalty zone, which changes the dynamic of team fights, the flow of actions that you're allowed to take. But with a CC, it's more of a sustained and I don't know, conditional amount of control. Like, all right, I'm going to stand here. I'm going to keep hurting you, but not killing you. But if you're going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back. And it's going to take a while. So they did that alongside picking the Bruno. So they know that they want these fights to last long to the point of no ults, just basic attacks. Let's see who stays standing.
I think the theory, there's 2 points in this theory that I have here. With the CC pick, I think especially with the Elder Curtain call, when you do lock 2 people down, right? Keep in mind, like they've got a lot of dashes. If you lock down, for example, the Moskov next to Rosa's Valentina, it hinders both of them when they play the game. And even if you lock them to just an Arlet or maybe even the Amon, right? The extra movement speed, you get no value out of it because you're just anchored down by somebody else. I think based on how they're going to play this game, it's simply going to boil down to how Royal Milk played the CC as well. Zone out that backline, limit their mobility, and if you want to play as 5, that's perfect.
We'll see if Apex 47 falls for it because I think he's one of the prime targets. Rosa here, put down a third of his health. Stormy just wailing away. Something to note, a save for Stormy, right? Save for Stormy. Apex 47 can make the most out of his passive as a Tigreal. Like, he is just tanking everybody for free. Like, he has a little Dreadnought armor on him minute 1.
Yep. I mean, there's plenty of physical damage dealers on the side of SRG. We're going to struggle a little bit in the earlier stages, but hey, let's see.
Alien in trouble. Tempest of Blades up. Gonna fall here despite being underneath his tier 1 turret. And now Apex 47 fighting the good fight. SRG starting it quick.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum and especially the rotations are really, really fast from the side of SRG. And I think that Apex 47 got the read just a little bit too late. But let's see if they find the trade.
Here we go. TNZ pulls the trigger under Retribution. Pops Innocent. Gives a kill over to Sunshine.
Unfortunate. And I mean, that's just the way it goes, right? Unless you have Flicker, that's the only way that you can dodge that ult. But with Purify, you're just going to have to tank it.
All right. In hindsight, I think Fireflux Esports walked away with a better trade. An XP laner for a gold laner? Sign me up. Now that Turtle has spawned, it looks like they'll just continue the pressure on Alien. Like, they're going to deny or at least delay his level 4.
Well, let's see how it goes out, right? Because again, it is a trade for like, yes, eventually you're going to scale into the later stages of the game, but do we need the power now or later? And I think that SRG kind of needs the power now, especially when they're trying to fight around these turtles, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way that Fireflux Esports is willing to kind of walk out into the danger zone.
They need it and they want it, especially if they want to secure this first objective. Cram, put down to 2/3 of his health, gets a good amount of damage, and now Tienzi trying to burst him down. Turtle at 1/3 of its health, Tempest of Blades up. By Sakai, all of the swords. Oh, he goes down. Alien says you're welcome. And the pull by Yums. Gonna get taken down by Alien though, despite all of that. And Stormy blasts Apex 47 with the turtle still standing.
Yep, I mean, that was, I don't know what to say, but this is pretty profitable for Fireflux Esports, because now look, Tenzi is able to power farm while all of these fights are going on. He's already level 6, and now maybe he has an opportunity to start turning the tides for the rest of his team, and maybe another gank on top side. But let's look at this, right? Because Stormy, technically he would have cleaned up this fight had he, if he had more items. You're limited by the number of shots that you have in your pocket.
Yeah. Interesting how Stormy had all of those free hits, yet despite that, Alien survived, and Alien got a couple kills on the way out too. Again, I give full credit to Brave Smite there, and of course just the innate chunkiness of one. Oh, I'm abandoned the pole. Tianzi goes down. No clapback, no retaliation from Fireflux Esports here. Now 3-3. SRG definitely has the advantage here in the turtle take. Still standing. Pram and Yums holding it. In goes Sikais. Alien gets the vengeance. Proc in. Apex 47 down to a fourth of his health. Getting hit by Stormy's spells. And now the turtle finally gets the attention that it wants and it needs. And there's another pull. Rosa in trouble. No. Rosa's gonna go down here. Yums gets the kill. Turtle still up. Sikais with the retry. Secured. Apex 47, where you going? SOD by Sunshine. Only proc it. The answer is no. Down goes Apex 47. Stormy gets a kill. Yums as well. And Sunshine presses the button. But goes down just as quickly.
I'm so confused. Why did he decide to take that? Why did he decide to take it? Was it worth that one kill? Nope. And I personally don't think so, right? I guess, yes, you are. You're technically 2-1-0 as of right now, but Innocent is going to get a lot off of this. Luckily, at least for Fireflux Esports, there is some kind of level of compensation, right? We don't see Innocent hard shoving that lane, but Cram now even further ahead. Yeah, please, Alien, keep trading against me. Until you get that Thunderbelt, I don't mind.
Yep, and we'll see exactly in the replay one more time how that happened, because I also need a replay. I want to see how quickly that happened. So where's the SOD? Why did he click it?
Right here. Because I think he was getting frozen out of his lane. So he needed to participate elsewhere to get that gold and be part of that fight. Kind of interesting how, well, indirectly, Innocent is still part of the fight.
Yep, now Alien gets hit here. That's 2v1, man. Oh.
They're generating a lot of momentum for Cram, but it needs to translate into something. And most of the time it is the Turtles. We'll see whether or not they're going to start swapping the lanes now that the gold plating has expired.
Item check here. That's the Berserker's Fury already on Sikais. And
yeah.
Queen's Wings? Blood Wings, yeah.
Blood Wings. Yeah, I think it's rather interesting, right? He's not thinking about damage. He's also thinking about the survivability when he gets into the middle of these fights.
This is the most roundabout way of building a sustainable Amon.
I mean, it's one way of doing it, right? Until we see the concentrated energy start popping up. Maybe even like something even wilder would have been like the Clock of Destinies now that it's been changed. But for the time being, we are expecting to see a lane swap actually happen. And SRG, you can see the rotations from Cram to be part of this turtle fight.
Yep, he is going to be helping Stormy clear the wave here. One thing we haven't really seen is the use of diversion, right? Everything that Stormy's been doing has been very fair, has been in your face. So maybe they are going to try to set up for a checkmate angle on this turtle. Again, we're only getting 2 turtles. Oh, flicker there, committed by Alien. No one home, very defensively used. Apex 47 spots Innocent in the back. All right, Tianzi, he pulled out too far.
It's a little tough to get into this fight here. Ooh, not to mention the level difference. Oh, wait.
That's a soft reset. Turtle, barely out of range, gets the pull in and the implosion. Both tanks pulling no punches. Tempest Blades up. Sunshine gets the SOD. Still no one home. Yums goes down. Tianzi served up a kill from Alien's final slash. Down goes Sikais. That's a double for Tianzi. And then another one falls. Cram, 3 for 1, traded for Rosa. And Tianzi keeps going. Stormy. Oh, he gets it. That is a maniac.
That's huge. That is so very huge. But now, I mean, Innocent, he's going to have to try here.
Uh-oh. Alien tracks him, finds the final slash, serves it up to Sunshine. He's not going anywhere.
The Thunderbelt makes him real tough to get through. Let's look at the replay one more time in this fight because honestly, Apex saved the entire situation. He got both Sakai's as well as Yums, and both of them were on top of TNZ. Had they, well, I guess maybe if just the Ruby got pulled away, I'm pretty sure the Ling would have been able to take care of TNZ. But now look at that, the momentum switches back.
Here we go, Tempest of Blades up. The implosion saves Sunshine, but only for a second longer, turning it into a trade.
It's not bad, but they're still trading effectively from the side of Fireflux as they continue forward. TNZ now reading out even more with a Holy Crystal. Look at that build. He's full of damage.
Apologize to him now. Okay, I'm sorry, TNZ. I don't know your game, but now I do. 3-1 and 3. All right, he's done good work to use that shield to its most efficient. Oh no, Innocent gets bursted down just when we were talking about him.
It's unlucky. It's unlucky. It's like Power Spike just achieved. Innocent is like, yes, I got the Berserker's Fury. Maybe I can clear this wave fast. Yeah. Gets one shot instantaneously, right? And now you're seeing how Fireflux Esports have adapted from game number 1. Instead of like, oh, we're going to crush down on the mid lane. We're going to keep on trading proactively. We're going to play around our mid laner, and that should be enough. But no, we're attacking your gold laner. Innocent is punishable. He is human.
And that's what our analysts mentioned. Fireflux Esports perform the best when they play with a little bit of their own flavor, right? When you force out the Amon and you play it up against public enemy number 1, Ling, beautiful things happen. Apex 47 taking this amazing bush. And now the implosion catches Innocent, but only for a second longer. The final slash by Alien. I wonder if this is enough.
Oh, no.
I'm offended. In comes the Kais. Down goes Alien. Apex 47 might be up next. The diversion set up by Stormy. He goes through. Cram takes out Apex 47. It's a disaster for Turkey.
Wait a minute, TNZ. They have no idea he's there. They have no idea he's there. Rosa just needs to get some more information. Here they go.
SOD, and in the back line, TNZ bursting down Cram. Turtle still standing.
No
Lord,
way.
that is Innocent, scores it. And now TNZ's gonna go down. Sekai's taken out by Rosa. But here comes Stormy, the forward flicker. The gambit from Fireflux Esports doesn't pay off the way that they want to. They took 2 on the way out, but the Lord still goes over to the Giants.
Man, what a tough decision to make there. Do you continue to put Innocent behind, or do you look to maybe get something off by killing Sakai's? At the end of it all, SRG still walk away with the Lord, which is the biggest problem, right? Despite trading upwards, Fireflux Esports can defend this, don't worry. But I think that Sunshine, he needs to scale up fast. Oh my God.
Rosa with a stolen up, offended the implosion from Apex 47. Yums down here as well. And all SRG was thinking was, we're going to stand behind the Lord, go in and push. They didn't expect to lose 2 so quickly.
I mean, I wasn't expecting them to lose 2 so quickly, but even more, that could have been 3. That honestly could have been 4. Let's look at this replay. Hopefully they catch it right at the moment. Look at Innocent here. We see the implosion canceled straight away right on the frame.
Innocent skedaddled, as he should have. And then, again, damage control. SRG knows that, hey, this is a losing fight. They make nothing of that Lord. They didn't even get to push top lane tier 1.
I mean, that's the whole story between Fireflux Esports and Slam and Red Giants. They're just nullifying each other's proactive moves with their own moves. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh matchup that you wouldn't have expected, man.
Oh, here we go. The diversion play into that pixel brush. They try to spot out TNZ, but he knows better. Oh, wow, you're right. It's like one of those...
You've fallen into my trap card moment.
Yeah, or like a 2 equally matched dojo masters, you know? Like they both own their schools of martial arts, and then they just like this 2-minute long fight sequence where nobody gets hit in.
I think let's take it a step further. I think they're 2 very, very young prodigies of their times in martial arts masters. I mean, let's look at the game facts here. As of now, of MSC 2024, I did not catch that in time.
All right, but there was a fact.
There was a fact there.
You guys can scrub back.
Yeah, we'll scrub back just a little bit, but let's look at the in-game items and see whether or not anything is a little different. We see the full Trinity build come out from the side of Sunshine at this point of time, but even so, we do see the Alien. He's 5-3-3, and honestly, he's pretty sustainable now that he has the Queen's Wings and the Thunderbelt.
Oh yeah, that's good. He is, I believe, on his way to an Oracle, not mistaken, and... Yeah.
But then why would he need to? Never mind. I think at this point, whatever he gets is going to be of value, right? He could opt to go for a little bit more magic resist if you really wanted to. I think the best one by far, the most cost-efficient item that you could go for at this point is probably just the blade armor, right? Because Innocent, he's scaling up pretty quickly.
Just mad chunk. Tianzi picked up the winner crown there, and he also picked up a Sky Piercer. That's what I picked up. That's what I saw there. So he wants to greed out again. Oh, sick guys. Respect it. Tempest Ablaze just for the iframes.
Wow. He heals back up.
Whoa! They find one. Humes gets hit by the implosion. Still alive. Alien gets the dash in, the final slash. On to Stormy. Innocent down here from the flank. Kicks a few balls, Alien and Rosa's way. Now Cram gets spotted out, up against the wall, gets bursted down by Genzi, 2 for none. Fireflox Esports calling the shots, makes it straight to the Lord.
Oh my goodness, Tianzi is so stacked up right now. Unless the guys can make the super play and just steal away the Lord by a drive-by, I don't think it's happening. Fireflox, they push the momentum into their favor, and better yet, Selangor Red Giants now getting a little hesitant with the way that they approach these fights.
It's the cleanest pick-off into a Lord take I've seen up against Selangor Giants in a long while. This rarely happens.
I have to agree with you. And now we're seeing the beauty of this Amon pick. Amon throws the ult on towards Sekais after taking one single auto attack. Sekais has to use his own ult to survive.
Yep, Sekais isn't playing his game. He's playing Tianzi's game when that happens.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one to crack. And I think that Firefox, they need to be able to set up a check. Oh, well, I mean, they've missed the checkmate angle, but they need to put a lot of damage here. They're not going to take that diversion, right? Yeah. Okay, just giving some extra information.
And now, all waves synced in. Wow, Sunshine up top, 3 in mid, the massive Lord down bottom, and there is about 1/4 left. Oh, forcing out a Wind of Nature proc from Innocent. Lord crashing into that turret down bottom, and Fireflox Esports will continue to take away all the resources from SRG's jungle. And now they penetrate the base. Oh, I'm offended. Onto AVIC 47, forcing her response. Implosion onto 2, and the final slash. Pop in Hume's immortality.
Oh, and now they're going even harder. Sekais needs to reset off of this.
Oh no, they do get one on the back foot as Cram gets punished, overextending the diversion play. Can they find it? That's 3 sent over. Sunshine's in trouble, knows that there's danger afoot. Oh, Sekais gets bursted down one more time by Genzi. Sunshine takes out Stormy. 2 defenders left versus 3 out in front. Humes gets taken down by Rosa, stolen Tempest of Blades. And with that, it's just Innocent left. Innocent versus 3 members of Fireflox Esports, and Innocent pushes them out.
The item swaps to deny the kill. Tianzi refuses to give away the stack, and the one shot on top of it, it doesn't end. Tianzi is coming out big time.
All right, Tianzi has about 2 HP left. Cram, the only one to defend. There's a big wave. Can he stop this, or are we going to game 3 at 1-1? Fireflox Esports equalize.
This has to be the greatest series of all time. That was wild. How many times did we see the weight shift from both of these teams? How many times did we see them both just duke it out when it matters? The timings, the tempos, everything is just lining up perfectly.
Even Alien agrees. I saw him just walking away clapping. Sekais can't believe what just happened. I'll agree with you, Gideon. This is so far the best series out of the mid-season cup just yet.
The worst part is that there's even more after this in the days to come.
You mean the best part?
The best part. With that being said, we're throwing it over to our analyst, Wolf Nai Su, as well as LaFell. Take it away.
Series of all time. It's definitely one of the series of time.
It's
of
definitely
knockouts. Of knockouts. It's definitely one of those series in knockouts.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the series that I've seen.
Oh yeah. Dude, I mean, like, here's the thing. I get where he's coming from, right?
Yeah.
This is a back and forth. This is a 1-1.